This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mountain Pointe High School for the 2A state championship football game between the home team on the scoreboard tonight, the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, and the visitors, the crowd we came to watch, the St. John's Redskins. Both teams come into this game 12-1. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com. As the opening kick is underway, grabbed at the 10 by Scottsdale Christian. Out to the 20, to the 25, where he is stopped by a host of Redskins tacklers. We're going to get into this thing real quick here with our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame injury report. And as far as we know, neither team is without substantial injuries coming to this game. Part of the reason both these teams have made it this far this year, and we're looking for a great game out of them. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Mike Caldwell on the call tonight as the Eagles will come out and start the ball on their own 21-yard line on the near hash. Mike, in our Ace Hardware keys to the game, what are we expecting tonight?
Well, first of all, we got to play mistake-free. The team that takes care of the ball, takes care of the penalties, is probably going to have an edge. And that's basically is the main thing we're going to start with.
You know, Mike, both these teams come in 12-1. As there's a snap by Scottsdale Christian, and they're going to get no gain on the play as they come in a kind of balanced, tight set out of the gun. I'm not sure if that was gun or the pistol formation. And over here to the right side, to the near side, and he is stopped for no gain. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9. As one of the things you got to know, Mike, is that both these teams are 12-1. And 2 weeks ago, St. John's defeated the Arizona Lutheran Coyotes, which is Scottsdale Christian's lone loss on the year. And for St. John's, their lone loss comes on the heels of the Round Valley Elk, who we're going to be watching here in a couple hours play the Ben Franklin Chargers for the 3A state championship. As Scottsdale Christian carries the ball out for a 2-yard gain. Same formation, carries it out to the far hash. It is going to be a 3rd down and about, we're going to call it a short 8, long 7. Actually, we're going to call it an 8 exactly on the play as we come in. So both teams come in 12-1. And Mike, does the record even matter at this point?
No, I mean, they're both obviously prove that they're good teams, but right now you throw the records out.
And as we don't know too much about these Eagles, as the Eagles quarterback, that is Hegelson, drops back. The pass is intercepted by the Redskins at the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and that is going to be a pick 6 for the St. John's Redskins. Let's get a number for that young man.
That is Caden White that made the interception. That
is Caden White, number 10, the junior defensive back. And I want to go to the pick 6 before we come back to the records here, but pick 6 for the Redskins. How great is that for the Redskins to get on the board and start this game?
Right, just like you asked me, what's going to make the difference in this game, right? Turnovers, right? Turnovers and penalties. Who can play mistake-free? Because they're probably evenly matched. And right here, first drive, you got St. John's with pick 6. So,
and a pick 6 is huge. And I don't know if this, as I looked at the records, I don't know if this Scottsdale Christian team has been matched up against a tougher team than they're playing tonight in these St. John's Redskins. Like I said, the Redskins' lone loss came to the 3A Round Valley Elk, who, for all intents and purposes, are one of the best in 3A, and that's their lone losses. Here's the kick, and that's going to be number 7 for the Redskins. That is T. Platt, and he puts it through for the extra point. We're going to go ahead and leave it right here as we run down our pregame sponsors. So we have our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report, our Ace Hardware keys to the games, and I want to throw in, Mike, defense always has to be a key to the game.
Oh, definitely. Defense, I mean, you know, with the coaches at the college level, pro level, they say defense wins championships. I mean, you hear that all the time. And the other thing that I want to say, maybe the difference is these mountain kids, they hit.
They're tougher.
They hit.
They are tough, and that's what we've come to expect. And we're going to expect the same thing out of the Elk tonight, as we see out of these Redskins right now, as the Redskins line up in kickoff formation. 7-0 very early on in this game with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left. as Scottsdale Christian, I don't think know what hit them, as they came out and got punched in the mouth by these St. John's Redskins, as these St. John's Redskins have had kind of a never say die mentality. That double overtime game in that crossover game against Santan Charter, and they went in and won that one, and then they have just gone through the playoffs in a very dominant fashion, as I believe this is Platt lining it up to kick, as he kicks a long, low-lining pass. That's going to be fielded. That's going to go through the legs, and that's going to be fielded, and that's going to go in the end zone, and it's going to get labeled a touchback as per NFHS rules.
They kind of got a break there by that.
That was a Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it comes time to kick off your college education, do it at your hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state, now offering bachelor's degrees in education and business. And we just gotta give credit to these Redskins already coming out on top. And to me, you always got to get those first points. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, football, the runs in baseball and softball, whatever it is, you got to come out. Scottsdale Christian comes out. They're going to send out Steffen out here to the near side. The quarterback is Helgeson. Helgeson in the pistol. There's the snap. There's the hand. And it's going to be given, I believe that is number 25, Salazar, the senior running back. And Salazar is going to gain 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 2.
Jose Pena is the St. John's Redskin that made the tackle.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2.
As when I look at this front line, this front 3 for St. John's, I just don't know if there's much of a bigger front line in 2A. As Helgeson with the snap, there's the give again, and that's going to be given, and I did not get a number.
That was number 25.
That was Salazar again with the carry.
Yeah, and then we got Trace Nelson that came up. Nielsen
coming in on the tackle. That's going to be not enough for a first down. In fact, they're going to mark it as a loss of 1 on the play. We're going to have a 3rd and 3. St. John's up 7-0 very early. As we give a couple of the names of the St. John's defensive front, I see number 77, Malachi West out there. I see number 4, and that is Trace Nielsen that just made that tackle. As Helgeson is in the gun. He goes, he throws, it is caught on the on the far side. That's going to give a first down for the Eagles, as Eagles are going to go 1st and 10.
That was Dom Dickerson on the reception.
Dickerson with the pass from Helgeson, as we're going to have a 1st and 10 at the Scottsdale Christian 33-yard line. Ball is on the far hash. Helgeson with 3 receivers to the near side. St. John shifting the cover. Helgeson with the snap. There's a throw, and he's thrown. That's going to be incomplete. And pass is intended for Caleb Murphy, number 8, the junior wide receiver.
He actually caught it on the second.
It bounced off his chest, and
I think he caught it.
So they're going to call that. So it hit off his chest, and he reeled it back in. I thought it hit the turf. Apparently not. We're going to have a gain as the officiating crew is doing their best to get these chains. Looks like they're having a little bit of fits with the chains here early on in this game.
You know, not that made any difference on the reception. I mean, we had the same result, basically.
Helgeson, the quarterback. That's Murphy going in motion as the ball is over the middle, and that is number 4. Did Helgeson call his number up underneath? He goes and dives through, and that's going to be tackled near the 50-yard line. That is going to be spotted at the Scottsdale Christian 49 for another 1st and 10. As Scottsdale Christian moves the chains with 8:06 left in this first quarter.
You know, St. John's was there. They failed to wrap up, and finally Carson Thomas was the one that made the tackle. But they were in position. It was just a great individual play by Helgeson.
You know, Mike, as I look at the rosters here, as we're going to get that, we'll talk about that as we come out, as Scottsdale Christian out of the pistol formation. And we have a hand to Salazar. Salazar up the middle, and Salazar bulls over a St. John's defender. And I believe that is going to be number, is it 50?
50, yes, 50.
50, and that's Colton Platt in on the stop for the Redskins. Is Mike, at this level of football, 1A, 2A, 3A, you have a lot of both-way players.
Right.
I got to think that as I look at the sidelines, there's more blue jerseys than there are white jerseys of the Redskins. How much of a factor is the conditioning coming off the mountain going to be for St. John's to stay in this game?
Well, definitely it's I mean, they have the height. They're coming down to altitude, so that's going to be helpful. Scottsdale Christian does have the sheer numbers. But you talk about someone like Malachi West, you know, he's 6'6", 6'5", 325, and he's going both ways. So that's a big ask.
It is. As Helgeson's pass is completed to Murphy. Murphy's going to move the chains with 6:55. Just under 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. St. John's up 7-0 on the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. I guess we can call them the SCA Eagles. As Helgeson, Salazar now to his left on the near hash. Helgeson with the snap. Calls for the ball, and he throws a nice outside ball to number 1, and that is Dom Dickerson. And Dom Dickerson completes that pass, and that's going to be a gain of 6. We're going to call that 2nd down and 3, as it looks like they're having a little trouble with the chains, because it looked to me like, Mike, like it was showing 4th down on our side, but obviously 1st on the field side. So we got to watch that as we move through this ball game with the chains there.
Yeah, they cannot get the down marker to switch over, so they're having all kinds of
they've been fiddling with it since the get-go, and it's too bad in the game like this that something as little as that isn't able to be taken care of beforehand, but it is a different type of situation. As there's the give to Salazar. Salazar goes out. Now Salazar is going to be dropped. They're going to actually give him a 2-yard gain on the play, as that's going to bring up 3rd down and a short 1, we're going to call it. As I think what you say about St. John's coming to altitude is so true. I think we see it in basketball more than anything, but in football we don't see it up close as much as we do in basketball. But I got to think that Coach Dimbat has these Redskins conditioned to come down and play in this type of environment. And the other thing we got to do is, it's not a normal night game. This is the only afternoon game these guys have played all year.
Yeah, that's definitely going to factor. It's kind of warm, So.
Here's Helgeson, gives the Salazar. Salazar with all the middle is plugged, but he believes he's going to be enough for a 1st down, as he's going to go over the line. And it looks like the head linesman on this side has spotted it. He's moving the chains. The white hat signals 1st down, and that's going to give the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. And St. John's has yet to run an offensive play with 5:05 left in the first quarter, 7-0. The Redskins up on this.
1st and 10. Eagles from the 24.
Scottsdale's trying to establish their run game, and they're doing a pretty good job on this drive, so we'll see.
Well, how gun-shy are they going to be after throwing a pick on that first one? Because that pick was right over the middle, and it was right to one of the Redskins, so I think that they're absolutely going to have to establish that game. As now Elrod for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles goes back behind Helgeson. As Helgeson waits, he throws. That is going to be caught, and the reception made by number 3. That is Kyle Olofsson for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, and it looks like we have a penalty marker down. And I think it's going to be offsides. Preliminary indications are calling it.
Looks like Scottsdale's walking back.
They're going backwards, so we're going to get 5 yards. We're going to have an illegal man downfield. And that's one of those high school penalties that you just get a little bit of here and there. And what the fine line is between going down the field and how far they are down the field on this one is the white hat winds the clock. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left, as Scottsdale Christian now with the 1st and 15 is now the down marker reads 1st down. So we're going in for that. St. John's comes out, Mike, and I'm going to call this like almost a 3-4 look, but and sometimes it becomes a 3-3 look, but now it's a true 3-4 look, but bringing 5 up front as we have a toss, and that's going to be given to Dickerson, and Dickerson's over for about a 4-yard gain.
It's like Jude Rabin on the tackle. Yeah, it is a 3-4, and they play their linebackers off the line, so that, sometimes you can get tomato on 3-4, 5-3. Right. But it looks like they are.
It does to me look like Rabin is holding that edge outside. Am I wrong on that? I look at his number as we go. Helgeson with Salazar behind him as Olofsson goes in motion. Here's Helgeson, gives the Salazar, balls on the ground, and that could be recovered by the Redskins.
Trace Nielsen with
the recovery for the St. John's Redskins, as that's going to give the Redskins the turnover. The turnover battle is now 2-1 in favor of the Redskins, as
First and 10 Redskins from the 30-yard line.
As we get a delay in the action, as we're going to have a TV timeout, so we're going to go ahead and take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
5365972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Hey everyone, it's the Name Your Price sales event at Horn Auto Center for the rest of the year.
Even on these trucks?
Yeah.
Even on brand new SUVs?
Yeah.
What about all these used cars?
You got that right.
Even on all these heavy duty trucks?
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
It's the Name Your Price sales event and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So come in and make us an offer we can't refuse.
Caden Waite, he's the one that did the pick 6 too.
Welcome back, everybody. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com on our YouTube channel. We apologize for the audio only, but restrictions from the Arizona Interscholastic Association allow us to at least do this audio broadcast. So glad to be with you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon from Mountain Pointe High School, as the St. John's Redskins just had a 2-yard gain on first down, and I believe that was quarterback Caden Waite, and he was the one that had the pick 6 earlier. As Waite now is the quarterback, he hands off.
Sam Winters.
And Winters is going, and he could go to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, St. John's Redskins. Mike, we weren't even close to expecting that. I just lost the name of the young man. Winters goes right through the middle and goes all the way for a touchdown, and I think it both kind of caught us off guard as we were just coming back from that commercial break, as now the St. John's Redskins have made the score 13-0 early on in this first quarter with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. St. John's is up. That's going to bring in T. Platt to attempt the extra point. And we're going to get an encroachment, which is going to be interesting here because it looks like St. John's is now going to put it.
Yep.
They're going to bring in their Are they going to bring in their offense?
Looks like it.
They're going to bring in their offense after that half the distance to the goal. So we're going to go to the 1.5-yard line for this untying down. Now, Mike, we're high on the Redskins here, but what do you do if you're Scottsdale Christian after this unique scenario where you've just given up 2 big plays? St. John's has run 2 offensive plays and 2 touchdowns, and you have 2 turnovers, one of them on a very long, sustained drive.
You know, I guess they just have to regroup, play it one play at a time, you know, and what's done is done, and they just need to focus, hold on to the ball, and they do have obviously they have the potential.
Here's Wade under center. Wade keeps it himself. Wade tries to go around. Now Wade cuts it under, and Wade's going to go in, and he is going to get in, and they are going to put the hands up, and that is going to be a 2-point conversion. As the St. John's Redskins score and make it it's going to be actually 15-0 with 2 minutes 35 seconds left. We're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back, everybody. Show Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com. And that is a touchdown for the Redskins. Is now we're back in action. And is that?
It's Landon Willis, actually.
Willis? Okay,
Yeah.
I said that sure as heck can't be Waite, and it doesn't look like Platt, as his last kick was real low lining and got it for a touchback. As here's Willis with the kick, and Willis puts it, and that's going to be gathered in about the five-yard line, actually about the 3. That's gathered in by Dickerson, as Dickerson's going to dodge a couple tackles as Dickerson goes now. Now he's to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. Dickerson's going as Willis is right there, and Willis is going to put him out about the 45. However, it is the 45 of the St. John's Redskins, as Scottsdale Christian, the best thing they could do was run it back. The second best thing they could do is we're going to have Laundry on the field back here at the 16-yard line.
Receiving team, walk in the back, number 54.
You know, Mike, I actually saw that, but I didn't see the flag go down. And if we were able to have our replay here, I know that we would both look at that and nod in agreement. I thought that was a great call by the officials. I thought I saw it because what happened was he turned, and as he turned, the Scottsdale Christian player, I'm not going to point out with the number, kind of gave him a little bit of a shove at the end. Otherwise, I think if he would have let off, the return would have been the same amount of yards, but that little shove at the end kind of held them captive. So horrible field position to start for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles at the 9-yard line.
Well, in St. John's Redskins, that's the second time that they need to clean up their tackling. They really should have had him way back here, regardless of the block in the back. They just weren't wrapping up, so they got to clean up that because
he did break away. He cut across the middle, and when he cut across the middle, he was running lateral and then cut it right through the middle of the field and was able to get that gain negated by, as here's Helgeson, and it's caught over on the far side, and that's going to be run out of bounds.
Rabin on the tackle.
And that's
pass complete to Caleb Murphy, forced out of bounds by Colton Platt.
Oh, excuse me,
that's
Colton Platt.
I was looking down the numbers going, it looked from here like it was number 58, but I'm like, we don't have a 58.
It's 50.
So I was waiting for the PA announcer to give us the number. So that's going to be a 1st and 10. Ball is on the 22-yard line of the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, as Helgeson back with 2 receivers to each side on the far hash. Helgeson waits, gets the ball, snap, throw over the sideline. That is going to go incomplete, intended for number 7, or is that number 3? That's Olofsson. So it looks to me like Scottsdale Christian relies heavily on Dickerson, Olofsson, of course their quarterback Helgeson, and then of course Salazar, whose name we've called quite a bit tonight, as those seem to be the big guns for the Eagles. 2nd down for the Eagles. Clock is stopped at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Here's Helgeson. 3 yards back as his offense shifts a little bit. 3 receivers now to this side. Ball is on the far hash. Give us to Salazar. Salazar up the middle, and Salazar is going to be dropped for about a 6-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 to go. Oh, they marked him a little bit shorter than I had it up for here, so it's going to be a 3rd and 6.
Looked like Carson Thomas on the tackle.
That's Carson Thomas for the Redskins coming in.
And Jose Pena.
Well, Mike, we can't control everything the PA announcer says, and we know the kids a little bit better, so we're going to go with both of them on that tackle. It's 3rd and 6. Helgeson as Perez goes in motion. St. John's in the 3-4, walking up to a 5-3 look, as that's going to be caught. And that's going to be caught by Olofsson. Olofsson going to be caught by a 1st down. He's going to be just shy of the 40-yard line for a 1st down, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. And the Eagles getting back in this rhythm of moving the ball down the field methodically. But the worst thing that could happen to the Eagles the last 2 possessions was 2 turnovers.
Right, and you asked the question, what's the keys to the game, and they're playing out so far. So we'll see.
Turnovers and defense.
Yeah.
That's what we said, and we're definitely what you would not call experts. Stay tuned, folks. We have the Round Valley Elks against the Ben Franklin Chargers here, as I got to think that a lot of this crowd's going to stick around for both these games, as Helgeson gets the snap, and he's looking long. He fires down the middle, and that's going to be overthrown, as we're going to get a penalty. But we're also going to get it negated, as I think we're going to have a roughing the passer, and I think they're going to call Thomas for that one. So we're going to have an offset, and we're going to replay the down. It's going to be 1st and 10 with 44 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looked like Dom Dickerson was a motion man, and he turned up far too early.
Illegal procedure on the offense. Roughing the passer on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
You know, Mike, as I was thinking about it, we had the Mogollon Mustangs this year were a semifinal team in the 1A ranks. We have St. John's, Round Valley in the 2A and 3A. Snowflake had a great year going in as the 2 seed. How dominant is White Mountain football? Seems like it's kind of back to me right now.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's great to see, you know, like you said, Class 1, 1A, 2A, and 3A. It's just a great representative of the kids that play up on the mountain.
And, you know, one of the things I like is that at the end of the day, St. John's and Round Valley are two bitter rivalries. It goes back to one as Helgeson sends it out, and that's Dickerson with the ball. Dickerson's going to be brought down right at the 50, and that's going to be close to another Eagles first down. As at the end of the day, St. John's and Redskins, one of the oldest rivalries, one of the most bitter rivalries in the state. But at the end of the day, they're going to sit in the same crowd and root for each other. I think that's fantastic.
You know, they have the same relatives. They're all related. You've got people that are from St. John's and moved to Round Valley and vice versa in Snowflake. So they're all intertwined and related to it. And like you said, they're the same kids, and they're going to root for each other at the end of the day.
I actually find it interesting. Scottsdale Christian actually brought way more of a crowd than I was kind of expecting. As Helgeson with the ball, he looks and throws a really short pass, and that's through the hands of Steffen is going to get it. It's going to be 3rd down. Are we going to call that 3rd down and 1 from the 49-yard line? As nice crowd on hand this afternoon. Beautiful weather. Can't get much better than this. I do think it's kind of weird. These teams both playing an afternoon game this week who've practiced afternoon all year but have not played in the afternoon. So it does throw a little bit of a kink in things. You know, Round Valley is going to get tonight in some similar circumstances. I'm looking forward to a beautiful night and a good football game next game. As Helgeson goes under center, and he's going to plow his way forward, and he's going to be close, and they're going to mark him with a 1st down, and they're just going to move the chains. The Scottsdale Christian is going to get this ball, and as soon as we have the ball set, we're going to have the clock start, and we're going to have the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a break now. The Shola Forge presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You have a vision, a plan to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino. When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back, everybody. Shola Forge presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7. As we'd like to run down our sponsors real quick: Shola Forge, Summit Healthcare, Ace Hardware, Northland Pioneer College, Comfort Fit Dentures, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Horn Auto Center, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and Allegra Printing in Sholo. As you're listening to high school football presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk1067.com, KNKA Pine Top Sholo, and 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communication station. As we're going to get, one of the nice things about these championship games is they hand us live stats. So as we're going to look at these live stats for the start of the game, as St. John's, his 2 rushes for 70 yards is what sticks out for me. However, Scottsdale Christian is passed for 66. So St. John's has 70 offensive yards, mostly on one run, and Scottsdale Christian right at 100 yards. However, the turnover is huge. Salazar with 24 yards rushing as Winters with 70. And so St. John's all involved in that one thing. But looking at tackles, Platt doing very well. Platt and Winters holding down the defense, as well as Heap and Thomas. And thank you for the stat keepers for getting these to us real quick. As 15-0. And great job. So we'll have something to chew on at halftime as we go through our live stats. Thank you to the AIA for providing that, as Scottsdale Christian's going to get the ball. We're going to call it the 51 or the 49, depending on what country you live in, Canada or the U.S. No, we have the ball on the 49-yard line. It is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Helgeson back with a snap. Helgeson with the snap. He now drops straight back. Now he rolls a little bit. His right, Helgeson dumps it over to number 8, Murphy. Murphy to the 40, to the 30, and Murphy's going to be knocked out right past. Actually, they're going to call him marked out right at the 30-yard line, as Murphy gets a first down for Scottsdale Christian. And, you know, Mike, St. John's does not have a solid answer defensively yet for this drive and these short passes by Scottsdale Christian.
Yeah, Scottsdale's doing a great job of using the whole field, the whole width of the field to spread it around. We saw them try to throw it in the middle, and that did not go in their favor. But they're doing a good job with these little quick outs.
As Helgeson now on the far hash, receiver down on the far side, right at the hash. Helgeson calls for the ball. He gives it to Salazar. Salazar out around the edge. Salazar is going to be stopped. Initially hit by Rabin.
Yep.
And are we giving Rabin the tackle on that one, Mike?
I believe so. I believe so.
As this front of St. John's is definitely bending, but for sure not breaking at this point in the game. We're going to have 2nd and 7, gain of 3 by Salazar.
It's definitely an important drive for both teams.
If St. John's could get a stop here and get the momentum. Helgeson. Ball in the middle of the field. Helgeson with the fake. Salazar, as Helgeson now out throws, and there's that short passing game. That is to Olofsson. Olofsson goes down to the 5. Olofsson down to the 2. He is punched back, and they're going to call him down at the, actually, they're going to spot him at the 1-yard line. As Olofsson's going to go down, and that's going to bring up a first down. However, there is a penalty marker down in the backfield of the Scottsdale Christian Eagles as the chain crew stays put.
Well, St. John's is going to definitely need to make an adjustment because they really have not stopped those passes out in the flat. And obviously Scottsdale has picked up on that.
Penalty will be assessed after distance to the goal. First down.
First and goal. Eagles from the 1-yard line.
Eagles get a break there. Ball's moved to the 1-yard line as Helgeson in the shotgun. Salazar behind him. Helgeson points out to Dickerson, brings him in. As here's the snap, Helgeson gives, fakes to Salazar, and that's going to be given to Olofsson. No, that's Dickerson, and Dickerson's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Caden Wade, excellent job. I've noticed St. John's went to man on the corners, and they're tight on them, so they're trying to take away that short stuff.
That's what I think. The only thing is if they can, if Helgeson has any kind of a pump fake, that could be a long night for the Redskins as he could go over the top pretty easy. But so far the Redskins have had definitely a bend and not break mentality, up 15-0. 10 minutes and 25 seconds left here till halftime. As Helgeson looks for the snap, he claps for it, gives to Salazar. Salazar goes off to the right side. Salazar's going to be in virtually untouched for the touchdown. As 15-6 now, the Redskins are on top of Scottsdale Christian, and going to see how the Redskins respond after that.
Yeah, it looks like that was a big important drive for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. And
I have a number 7 going into kick, but I do not have a number 7 on my roster.
Nor do I.
And so we're just going to call him SCA kicker. As the kick is up, and it is through the uprights. As the score is now 15-7 in favor of the St. John Redskins, with 10 minutes and 16 seconds left till halftime. Redskins 15, Eagles 7. The Shola Forge presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back, Shola Forge presentation of high school football on italk1067.com. As Scottsdale Christian lines up in the kick formation. And there's the kick. Kick is down to about the 7-yard line. Fielded by Rabin. Rabin goes right up the middle. Rabin goes to the middle, and he's going to slide down, and they're going to mark Rabin down at about... No, they're going to mark him down at the 29-yard line. Good spot there by the officiating crew, as Rabin's going to be marked down right in the middle as the St. John's offense comes out. And I got to think that some of this front line, particularly Thomas as well as West, are not the most fresh right now. They've been playing a lot on defense, and it just depends on who you talk to. Sometimes they say the defense is harder, offense is harder. You know, offense to me, when you're rolling over a team, is a lot easier to play than getting those long sustained drives against you while you're playing defense.
Yeah, especially since Scottsdale goes side to side, uses the whole field. So these big kids are having to run side to side, sideline. So it does make it tough on those bigger kids.
Wait with the handoff, and there's going to be a scrum right in the middle of the field, and it's going to be blown dead. As Winters with the carry, and Winters, the senior for the Redskins, is going to be marked with a 1-yard gain. And I am surprised, Mike, that they even gave him that 1-yard gain, because he virtually hit a wall right there in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely generous.
Waite comes out under center. Ball is spotted in the middle. Receiver to this side. As give is to...
I believe that's...
Is that Nielsen?
Nielsen
with the ball, and that's going to be a 3-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and a long 6 for the St. John's Redskins as Waite comes to get the play from the side.
Tackle on the play by Martin Perez.
So, yeah, this is going to be a big, huge play for St. John's.
3 on the play, 3rd down and 6.
You know, they currently had momentum, but Scottsdale's kind of snatched that, and so let's see if they can snatch it back, because Scottsdale looks really good on actually every drive. So.
Either team is yet to punt in this game. As Waite goes under center, there's Waite dropping back now. Waite being pressured, rolls to his right, as Waite's going to look and try to find the sticks, as he's going to reach out, and the official is right there to spot him down, about 2 yards short of that first down. That's going to bring a decision. In my mind, it's not a decision when you're up 8 early in the game. The Redskins are they going to bring on the punting unit?
Looks like it. So field position is definitely a key factor also. There's Brody Flowers from Scottsdale Christian Eagles, and he did a good job.
Dickerson seems to be doing the kick return duties. As we get a whistle and we get I believe we're going to have
timeout Eagles.
We're going to have a timeout by the Eagles. We're going to go ahead and take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as the St. John's Redskins up 15-7 on the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, but put themselves in a punt formation as Winters is going to go back to punt. As that's going to put Dickerson back for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. Dickerson waits at his own 21-yard line, now backs up to the 20. As Winters calls for the ball, high snap, lob snap. Winters gets a chance, and Winters booms it. And that's going to be caught right at the 20 by Dickerson. Dickerson goes to his right, and now Dickerson is going to be stopped. He's going to get a 2-yard gain as he's going to be marked for 2 yards as
Jude Rabin
comes in for that. At number 3 for the St. John's Redskin. I don't think, Mike, you can cover a punt much better than that.
No, that was a great punt, and I was, I was actually questioning him punting right to the single
seat, back.
But it was such a nice punt. It was high and it had distance, and it gave the
I didn't even think about it. They did kick it right to him. And Scottsdale Christian comes up, and even though they're down on the board, Scottsdale Christian does currently have the momentum. As Helgeson, they've held the ball for an awful long time in this ball game. As I think our stats here, they held the ball, get this, Mike, 11 minutes and 12 seconds in that first quarter. St. John's was credited with 12 seconds of holding on to the ball. As Helgeson gets it now, he throws it completed to Olafson. As Olafson is going to get thrown out right at the 50-yard line.
Looked like Jose Pena is the one that finally brought him down.
Jose Pena brings him out of bounds.
St. John's has definitely needed to make an adjustment because they have not been able to stop the pass in the fight. So, really you're going to talk about possibly some different coverages.
First and 10 Eagles from the 48.
So it's turning into a chess match, obviously, as every football game or athletic event does. So
I want to see how St. John's responds offensively because they haven't. The play up the middle, they needed to see and open things up. So I really like that play call. When Waite scrambled, he was close to that first down, but put himself fine. Here's Helgeson. He's back. Helgeson is going to call his own numbers. He's to the 45, to the 40, and he's really hit hard. And I want to say,
looks like Colton Platt.
That's Colton Platt bringing him down as he was hit low and pretty hard there.
So possible Deemer's glass shattering.
That is definitely in the line for our Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. Deemer's glass in Lakeside. 1-888 glass man.
On the play, 2nd and 1 from the 39.
As the sun begins to set here, and I know it seems weird, but the way the sun angles on this field, Mike, it could be a little bit of a factor as we go into the second half of this game with 7 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the first quarter. Scottsdale Christian with the ball as here comes Helgeson. He now rolls to his right. He's at the 40, and he's going to step out right at the 35. And he's hit as he goes out of bounds.
Again, Colton Platt.
And that's Platt again for the Redskins. We are calling his number right and left, so great job for that young man.
So St. John's definitely they're lacking contain on the run and the pass. So,
well, obviously Scottsdale Christian saw something in the scouting report that said short pass, because that was what they have lived on. Because their lone long pass was picked, and they fumbled it on one of their exchanges on the run. So they're really relying on the short passes. You have Dickerson coming out here to the far side. Ball is on the far hash. Helgeson in the gun. He gives to Salazar. Salazar to his left. Salazar now cuts back into traffic, and Salazar's going to be hit. He rolls, and he's going to be brought down for about a 7-yard gain for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. As now we're going to get a 2nd and 2, as I didn't even see on that far side who brought him down.
That was Jose Pena that followed one of the linebackers.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 from the 27.
Jose Pena, the senior, they have him listed as a running back safety, but he's definitely played more of that crunch linebacker role in this game today. As Helgeson 4 yards back from the center on the far hash, Salazar behind him, and the give fake is to Salazar. Now it's thrown over the middle, and it is caught, and I believe it's caught by Dickerson. Nope, it is Olafson, number 3 for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, as that's going to go for another first down and put him in first and goal territory on the 9-yard line, down 15-7 with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left here in this first quarter.
From the 9-yard line.
Here's Helgeson now. Sends Perez in motion. Gives it to Salazar. Salazar's hit behind the line, and Salazar's going to be dropped for, see where they mark him. He's going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss back at the 11-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
Great job by
on
Malachi
the 11-yard line.
on that play.
Was that number 77,
Yes,
Malachi
sir.
West,
Yes.
coming in? Great job, Mike, by spotting that. I'm trying to keep track of the offense, and it's when you're unfamiliar with the names, it's difficult. So I appreciate you picking up and giving these Redskin defenders credit. So great job by Malachi West, the senior. As here's Helgeson. Helgeson fakes it to Salazar, now rolls to his right, now cuts back to the left, and Helgeson throws over the top, and that's going to be caught by Perez for a touchdown, as that cuts the St. John's lead 15-13.
So obviously Scottsdale's going to go for 2, you would think.
I would think, but I think the way they're moving the ball, they could sit and say, you know, we're just going to kick it because we're going to have another chance to score, as St. John's is going to have to get something going offensively.
Yeah, I believe you called that. So it looks like they are going to.
Well, they are going to go for.
It looks like they're undecided.
So we get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com. As Scottsdale Christian, a bit of confusion, has elected, it looks like, after the discussion, to keep their offense in there and go for 2 to try to even this at 15 all. Great chance for the Redskins to keep points off the board here with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the first half. 15-13 as Helgeson with Salazar to his left. Helgeson receives the snap. He rolls to his slightly to his right. Now he books it to his right. Now he cuts it back under, and he's going to try, and he's going to be knocked down. St. John's defense holds as we're going to have a stop here.
Jude Rabin and Trace Nielsen.
St. John's will start their drive with all 3 timeouts. We're going to go ahead and take a short break and bring you back for the last 5 minutes of this half. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Show Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com, live from Mountain Pointe High School in the Valley of the Sun on this Saturday after Thanksgiving, 2025, for the 2A state championship between the Scottsdale Christian Eagles and the visiting team, although on the home side, the St. John's Redskins. As I'm Aaron Hughes, joined by Mike Colwell. There we go. I like that better. As we have a 15-13 ball game, as Sholo Ford, Summit Health, Ace Hardware, Northland Pioneer College, Comfort Adventure, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Horn Auto Center, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Allegra Printing in Sholo, bringing you this game live from the Valley of the Sun. To all our friends and family and supporters of high school football in the White Mountains, in my opinion, one of the greatest places to be a high school football fan. If you move there, you just kind of adopt it and love it. I know it might not be the old West Texas, but to us it's pretty special and pretty important to have 4 competitive teams this year going into the playoffs from the White Mountain area. The Mogollon Mustangs finishing the semis, St. John's and Round Valley in their respective championships, and of course the Snowflake Lobos, seeded number 2, fell in the quarterfinals to a team that is going to the state championship, the Micah Mountain Thunderbolts. So we love our football and we love our teams as we're here to bring you this game, and we thank you for all our sponsors in bringing this. As we get set to kick off here, is number 7, the mystery man for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles, is set to kick off as the Redskins await back, and it's going to be a short pooch kick. It is going to be fielded right at the 18-yard line, and that is Raven. Raven goes, now Raven cuts the middle, and Raven has a defender hit him, bounces off, as Raven's going to fight his way to his own 33-yard line, as that's a lot of the toughness we talked about, Mike, of these mountain teams, and especially today, right now, these St. John's Redskins up by 2, 5 minutes and 26 seconds left here in the first half.
Well, and I'd like to just jump on your comments about the mountain football and the kids, and I just want to give a shout out to the fans, because obviously the reputation precedes itself that enough that they were willing to switch field. The
sidelines, yeah.
Sidelines, so that says a lot about the mountain teams, the kids, and the fans.
Well, as I look down, I see a lot of black and gold watching this game, and we know who they're cheering for, but I also see, I actually see Mason Rabin of the Snowflake Lobos, who we hear Rabin on the field. He's here supporting his cousins, and I think it's just fantastic. There's a pitch out to
Winters.
Is that Winters with the ball? And Winters is going to have a great game, and he's going to be brought down over on the far side.
It's like Dylan Dufek, which Sam Winters definitely delivered the blow on that one.
Well, and that's what I've noticed is even we talked about St. John's has got to get better at tackling. They haven't been in the wrestling room enough, apparently, because they've been on the football field, but they are hitting hard. They just need to wrap up, and if they're going to hit low, they got to follow through on those tackles. But there's been quite a job of swarm tackling, but Scottsdale Christian has done a great job as well of getting these Redskins in check here. As Waite waits for the ball, waits for the ball. As Waite looks long, now Waite throws it across the middle. He has a receiver open, however, closes at the last minute into double coverage. That was intended for Rabin, as Waite gets the ball and throws it down the middle to Rabin. And I thought Rabin was open, and then right at the last minute, the safety and the free safety converged and basically took the ball right out of Rabin's hands.
Well, and the other thing is there was another St. John's kid that brought the other in the pattern, so it almost was a similar pattern.
They almost crossed in front of each other.
I don't know if that was a miscommunication or their design play.
3rd and 2 for the Redskins as Waite gives the ball, and
Jose Pena.
That's Pena. Pena to the 50, going to be credited with a first down, as I believe I see some of the Round Valley coaches interacting with some of the St. John's faithful here, and so I think the Round Valley Elk have arrived for their game, and it's just fun to anticipate both these teams playing, especially the Redskins here, up with 4 minutes and 18 seconds left, up 15-13.
It'd be nothing better to see both teams win. And
I was going to go there. I'm glad you did. I believe that's Rabin again up the middle, and it's Pena. We are just calling their names both sides of the field as Pena brings it up, and Pena's going to take it to the 45. They're going to mark that right at the 45. That's going to be 2nd and now 6 for the St. John's Redskins. And again, both these teams coming to this game 12-2. The sole loss for the Scottsdale Christian Eagles was the Arizona Lutheran Coyotes, who St. John's defeated 2, if not 3 weeks ago in the playoffs, 2, I believe. As there's another snap to Waite, and Waite gives it over the middle. And Payne's on the carry, and Payne is going to get another gain of 2. That's going to be 4th down. 3rd down and 1 for the St. John's Redskins. As one thing I like about these venues for the state title game, Mike, is that they have play clocks on the field. So the players and the coaches know. And it seems to me St. John's is taking a lot of time, which I'm actually in favor of at this point in the game. Don't get it back to that Scottsdale Christian offense. As Waite moves under center, Waite waits. And we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a flag. And they're the H is signaling encroachment as the L comes in and signals encroachment, as we got 2 flags on the field. So we're going to get a encroachment on the defense, although there's a lot of discussion. That's going to be encroachment. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That's going to bring up a 1st down for the St. John's Redskins, up 15-13, 3 minutes and 1 second left. I believe that clock's going to start live when that ball is set, as the white hat gives the signal and winds that clock. So we're going to go under 3 minutes left in the half here. As Waite comes under center behind that offensive line that is throwing some holes for these Redskins this afternoon. As Waite takes the snap, the give is to
Winters.
Is that Winters? That's Sam Winters, number 1 for the Redskins.
Definitely, you mentioned about these venues. It's really nice that they're playing on this turf. This new turf is great. It mimics grass. You know, I can remember years back when I played, we'd come down here and the field was
dead grass.
Dead.
You know, it's interesting because as I've taken part in high school football on the field the last few years, people kind of, as here's Waite, the give is to Winters again. As Winter cuts it up, he's going to be dropped for no gain.
So it looked like Salazar came in underneath.
Salazar came in underneath to make that tackle.
Brody Flowers.
And Mike, people, this turf is bad, the turf is bad. Grass is better, grass is better. But I will say, as we're going to continue this, because we got a timeout on the field, we're going to go ahead and take it as well. The Show LaForge presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
5365972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down.
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Welcome back, Show LaForge presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com. And as we talk about the playing surface here, the turf and the colors and everything kind of blend well here at Mountain Pointe High School. But as we'll talk about surfaces after Waite goes under center. Waite with a long 3rd and 10. As Nielsen goes in motion, Waite goes to his right. Waite tries to throw his own short pass, and that's going to be captured on the turf, and that's going to bounce off, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 10 for the St. John's Redskins. My point, Mike, is being on the field the last few years at high school football, grass fields are awesome. But in high school, they don't get the maintenance on them that you would see at a pro or a college level. They're just not as good. And this turf kind of negates that. So these turfs makes for a great surface all over. And as we look down on this field, it looks like a great, surface to play on. And Round Valley has the fortune of playing on turf all the time. I think Scottsdale Christian has it. St. John's has one of the nicer grass fields in the area. As Waite now in shotgun, 4th down and 10. As Waite drops back, now Waite throws it, and it's going to be caught, and that's going to be short of the 1st down. As it's going to go to the Eagles.
Yeah, Winters on.
Oh no, they gave him over the line, and they're going to call that a 1st down. He's signaling the other way. He's signaling for the Eagles. As he was motioning like this, like a come here motion, He was actually motioning first down the other way.
Yeah, that was very good. I saw what you said. Hey, good luck. Hey, I went to church last week after the game.
Hey everyone, it's the Name Your Price sales event at Horn Auto Center for the rest of the year.
Even on these trucks?
Yeah.
Even on brand new SUVs?
Yeah.
What about all these used cars?
You got that right.
Even on all these heavy-duty trucks?
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh!
It's the Name Your Price sales event, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So come in and make us an offer we can't refuse. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
I'll critique you. Hey. Welcome back, Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com. As we're just having a conversation with Travis Trickey, one of the Round Valley coaches for the evening, giving us a little preview of what they're expecting tonight, and we're looking for some great things out of them. However, right now we got the St. John's Redskins up 15-13 on the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. Scottsdale with one timeout and a lot of field in front of them, 70 yards between them and the end zone. As Helgeson hasn't been his longest break so far of the night as he scrambles to his left. Now he moves to his right. Now he moves to his left as Helgeson's going to get there. We're going to get a flag, and that flag flies from the side, Judge, and that flag flew 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 yards down the field. So curious to see what we're going to get.
Well, with the hit on there, you got to give him credit as Jose Pena. I don't think the flag's on him, but that was an outstanding hit by Jose.
That's going to be a defensive holding, and that's going to be just enough to give him a first down, as that goes from the previous spot, and that's going to give the offense a first down, and that is a little bit of a break, if you ask me, for Scottsdale Christian with one timeout down 15-13, as the clock does roll now with a minute and a half left. And if you're St. John's, you got to be thinking prevent, but I think a prevent defense only prevents you from winning.
I agree.
As Helgeson now gets the ball, two receivers left, two receivers right. He fires it over to the far side. That is caught by number 2, Steffen. As Steffen brings it right to the 49 of the Eagles. And we're going to get a second down and 2. As it looks like actually it's going to be 2nd and 1, as the first down mark is right on the 50.
Shout out to Jose Pena and Colton Platt.
As here goes Helgeson to his right. Now he fires it, and it's caught. And I believe that's Dickerson with the catch, as Dom Dickerson brings it down to the 35-yard line with 40. That's Olafson. I get Olafson and Dickerson mixed up, as Olafson.
1st and 10 Eagles from the 35.
As here comes Helgeson. He looks, now he goes up the middle. Now he backs over to his right. Throws middle, and it's almost intercepted, as we're going to get, I think, an ineligible man downfield as 64. I'm not sure if that's going to be an eligible man or it's going to be a hold. One's a 10, one's a 5, so we'll see. That's going to be a hold, so it's going to go 10 yards from the previous spot, which in this case is the line of scrimmage, as there are the Round Valley Elks showing up to support their mountain team, the St. John's Redskins, as they're coming up, Coach Baca and his squad.
Well, just looking out there, it looks like fatigue is kind of hitting in the Redskins.
And they've been on defense a lot.
Yeah, and they've been, most of those players are playing both ways, so it's kind of starting to be a factor.
Helgeson with the ball, in gun. Now there's the snap, and he looks for a quick pass to Murphy out to his right. As Murphy breaks a tackle. Murphy to the right, Murphy to the left. Murphy now down to the 32-yard line, as that's going to be it's going to gain back the original yards, as we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get the final timeout for Scottsdale Christian for the evening with 19 seconds left, up 15-13. We're going to go ahead and take it here to the Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back. Show Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com. As with 24 seconds left, Scottsdale Christian Eagles have used their last timeout, down 15-13. Ball is on the 33-yard line. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles, looking to get something in the end zone or possibly in position to get a field goal to go up at halftime. As Sean Helgeson, the quarterback for the Eagles, wearing number 4 tonight. Salazar is to his right. Ball is on the near hash. 2 receivers each side. There's the snap. Helgeson straight back drop, throws to the middle, and it is going to be intercepted by the Redskins. And that bounces out of the hands of, I believe that was number 8, Murphy, and goes right into the hands. Bridgen Heap. Right, correct? And that is number 2 for the Redskins,
right,
with the interception.
And let's give some credit to Jude Rabin, is the one that delivered the blow on that play.
Jude Rabin, and then bounces into the hands of Heap. So St. John's is going to get the ball back with 17 seconds left, up 15-13. And I think you just put it on a knee here with no timeouts, and you kind of cut your losses because you're going into this with a.
Maybe you give Sam Winters a chance up the middle.
Give Winters a chance over the middle?
Yeah, let's just see.
Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
Wade is the quarterback for the Redskins. He is under center. And Wade gives it to, is that number 1?
That's Winters.
Winters. As the clock's going to tick down, and I think St. John's is tempted to let it roll as they've called themselves to the sideline. Folks, at the end of the first half, 15-13 in favor of the St. John's Redskins over the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. The Redskins will receive the second half kickoff. We're going to come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share? You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Hey everyone, it's the Name Your Price sales event at Horn Auto Center for the rest of the year.
Even on these trucks?
Yeah.
Even on brand new SUVs?
Yeah.
What about all these used cars?
You got that right.
Even on all these heavy-duty trucks?
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
It's the Name Your Price sales event, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So come in and make us an offer we can't refuse. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
This is iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Welcome back, everybody. Sholo Fort's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com and live on iTalk 1067 as we go to our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to Honda Ski and Outdoor Store, north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. Is that north or is that south? I don't even remember. I think it's south. My notes say north, but we're going to look that up. Folks, as we go to the end of the first half, the St. John's Redskins up in the category that matters most, and that is the score. They are up 15-13 and will receive the second half kickoff. Scottsdale Christian scored with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first half, elected to go for 2 and did not get it to try to tie up this ball game, thus ending the half with the score of 15-13. Mike, before we dive into stats, I want to get your thoughts, overall thoughts of the first half.
Well, as you mentioned, your first question at the beginning of the game was basically what's the keys to the game, and they've held true. I think, obviously, we're looking for a good competitive second half, and I think it's any teams to win. The main difference really has been the turnovers, obviously. and it could be an exciting second half. Scottsdale, they have a well-balanced offense, and it's passing, and then St. John's they've only attempted 3 passes, so it's an advantage to be able to gear up on the run, and Scottsdale has done a better job of that lately. It's going to be interesting. Momentum is a key in any athletic event. We'll just see what happens in this third quarter, and we have a long way to go to see who's going to be the 2025 state champions for the 2A.
So, Mike, you bring up one thing again before we get into stats here, Honda Ski and Outdoor Halftime Show. You say that word momentum. Does momentum carry over to the second half, or is it negated by a 15-minute halftime?
I think the way it kind of went, I think it's going to be negated by that 15 minutes. And we've got a 2-point game, so I think it's going to be negated by the half. Both teams had some good things happen to them, and both teams had some bad things happen to. So I think we're really starting with a fresh slate third quarter.
I would have given the momentum 100% to Scottsdale Christian, but that pick there, which was their 3rd turnover in the half, led to something. So let's go down. Scottsdale Christian with 15 first downs to St. John's 3. Rush yards, 112 for St. John's, 57 for Scottsdale Christian. Pass yards, St. John's with 7, Scottsdale Christian with 203. Total offense, 260 by the Eagles, 119 for the Redskins. However, 3 turnovers to 1.
Right, that's been the key of the game, and we'll see if Scottsdale can make the adjustments and hold on to the ball, then you may have to give them the advantage.
Taking out turnovers, it's Scottsdale Christian's game right now.
Right.
But that early fumble, the pick 6, and the long run. Was the long run by Winters? I believe.
It was.
Yeah, Winters 68 rush yards. So in their first 2 offensive plays, they were up 15-0 at that point. So everything Scottsdale Christian had. So in the first quarter with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left, Waite with a 50-yard interception return, also the quarterback. Then with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first, Winters with a 68-yard rushing. With 10:16 left in the second, Salazar with a 1-yard rush and dived over the goal line, and the kick was made. And then with 5:35, Perez, 11-yard pass from Helgeson, but with the penalty, put them on the 1.5 yards, the conversion failed. And they had to use that timeout, which factored in going through this whole halftime. So, okay, Mike, I got your thoughts on the first half and the momentum. Now we got to shift to the second half. You talked about you think momentum's negated, which I do agree with. So if you're St. John's, you get the ball to start. Where does it go from there? Where does it need to go? If you're Scottsdale, where does it need to go if you're St. John's?
So St. John's obviously is going to get the ball, and they need to, obviously it'd be awesome if they scored, but at least they need to maintain, get some first downs, possess the ball, use the clock, and kind of establish that run game. Their passing game they haven't been able to do that lately, and that's not their strong point. So I think it's just to come out, have a good sustained drive, and if they can punch it in or even get a field goal, it would go a long way to gaining that momentum.
So St. John's needs to hold the ball 6 minutes to start this half. Regardless, I'm not sure of my grammar. No matter what, they need to hold the ball and they need to go down. Now if you're Scottsdale, 3 and out and methodical drive to go score?
Well, even if they have a quick scoring opportunity, but hold on to the ball. Minimize their mistakes, hold on to the ball. What I like about Scottsdale Christian is they throw to, what do they have? 4 different receivers, so it's kind of hard for St. John's to keep. So they're really diverse. They spread it around. They use the whole sideline. So, but the key is basically for Scottsdale is pretty obvious. Hold on to the ball.
Well, and you mentioned that Olafson has 6 receptions. Murphy has 6. Dickerson has 6. Perez has 1. However, Perez has the touchdown. So any way you look at it, but that is a good attack. Now rushing wise, Salazar has put it on the ground for a very hard 36 yards. We talked at one of the breaks, Mike, about St. John's and their tackling. And I know tackling is part of the game, but talk about that a little bit on what you told me and some of your thoughts moving forward with that St. John's defense and their tackling.
So St. John's, as we talked earlier in the game, pregame, is they're very aggressive kids, and they're wanting to hit you. They're wanting to put you down. But there is a time when you got to break down, make sure you secure the tackle. If you go flying in there, there's going to be a great chance that they're going to sidestep you and move. So they have to contain their enthusiasm, maintain leverage. If they got the leverage, then you can be more aggressive. But if it's one-on-one out there in the open field, you got to be a little bit more conservative, make the tackle, not go for the kill shot, so to speak. And I'm also interested to see what adjustments St. John's is going to make defensively. Like, are they going to stay the same defense at 3, or are they going to do something different? So it'll be interesting to see, and I think that's really the key to the game. Is
I agree with you.
What adjustments do both these teams' coaches make?
Let me ask you this, going back to St. John's before we break after our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. I think the defensive line, those 3 interior, have done really well, and that's number 50 Colton Platt, number 77 Malachi West, and
number 8
Oscar Jaramillo.
Yes.
Now, other than that, who needs to step up on that defense for St. John's, who's having a good game, who's good, with potential? Where are we looking for on that defense? Are we saying the linebackers, the defensive line? Is there a player in particular that needs to step up for the Redskins?
Well, I think it's going to really fall on their secondary. Corners, I think the corners going to have to make up. They're going to have to play a little bit tighter defense, whether that's a cover 2, whether it's a man. They're really going to have to shore up and have closer, tighter coverage, because Scottsdale is just relying on that out pass, those short out passes, and again, they use the sideline to sideline. So and in their defense, we need someone from the defensive line to get a rush.
I agree with that. We need to get some penetration through.
Yeah.
Heap has been credited with 5 tackles, Pena with 5, Winters with 5, and Platt with 4. My thought is, Mike, those 4 have to maintain what they've been doing and then have to flip the momentum to the offensive side and get the ball in the end zone. St. John's cannot be content. They need to score once in the third. If St. John's scores 3 more times, they put this game away.
No doubt.
2 more times, it could be a coin flip.
Yeah.
Scottsdale Christian, so basically, Mike, what I'm saying is if you score more points than the other team, you're going to win.
It doesn't get any more basic than that, Aaron. So I know we've gone to school and we both, I think that's as simple as you can get. And you know what? That's what matters. Like we talked about, Scottsdale is actually outgained St. John's
by a ton.
But you mentioned St. John's is leading in the most important stat, and that
is the scoreboard. Folks, we're going to go ahead and leave our Honda Ski and Outdoor for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear south of Pine Top on Highway 260. The Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime report. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
This has been iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share? You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com, as we like to thank our sponsor, Summit Regional Medical Center. Summit Regional Medical Center is everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any day of the week. Call Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Northland Pioneer College, which is this kickoff right here. When it comes time to kick off your college education, kick off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. Northland Pioneer College locations in Navajo and Apache County. Comfort Fit Dentures. All Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll be comfortable always. In our Honda Ski and Outdoor. Horn Auto Center, the Cadillac GMC store that saves you more. Deemer's Glass, 1-888-GLASSMAN. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and Allegra Printing. Thank you for bringing us this game. As great halftime show with our stats live as we get set to start the second half. As the mystery man kicks off for Scottsdale Christian, that's going to go into no man's land and land right at the 20. It is picked up by Rabin. And Rabin cuts at the 10. Rabin's going to be brought down at about the 18. We're going to call it the 19-yard line of the St. John's Redskins. And here they come, Mike. And all that we talked about, it was all talk. The St. John's Redskins got to make those adjustments, and I think that was good. And I don't think as a coaching staff you can ever be content without making some adjustments. And what adjustments did Coach Dimbat and his staff make to come out and put these boys in a position to win? 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line. Don't forget, actually, they are going to spot that at the 18. We are going to have the Round Valley Elks live against the Ben Franklin Chargers after this. There's Wade under center. Wade in the I-back set. Give us to... That is Winters, I believe, as Winters goes.
Actually, it's Trace Nielsen.
It is. I can't tell them apart.
Well, they're both good-looking kids. They're about 6'2", 6'3", anywhere from 180 to 200
They have
pounds.
Winters at 6'3", 205. They have Nielsen at 6'2", 195.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I mean, they're good-looking athletes.
And so that is a gain of 6 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Redskins as the clock runs. Redskins clinging to a 2-point lead this afternoon. Mountain Pointe High School. Beautiful atmosphere as... South Mountain, as the sun's going to be setting here in its late fall time, as Waite now in shotgun. Waite steps back. Waite 3-step drop, fires. That is going to be in the hands and out of the hands of Winters for the Redskins. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. I like the play call there, Mike. I like the execution. Just happened to slip out of the hands of Winters, and it looked like number 24 for the Eagles. That is Dylan D-E-F-E-K. Defek had a hand on that, and I'm not sure Winters was able to cleanly bring that in.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the same thing when they threw that. Like, oh, awesome. They came out here and did a little pass. on second down. I thought it was an excellent call. Yeah, we just need to make the completion. And
as St. John's comes in with 7 seconds, 6 seconds on the play clock, Wade under center. Wade's going to have to get this one off. As Wade goes for a quick count, he hands it up the middle, and that's going to be
Pena.
That's Pena's going to dive for about a 5-yard gain. Actually, we're going to call that a 6-yard gain, and that's going to be a first down for Pena.
Yeah, and he was hit really about 2 yards in, and he just has got great leg drive. He's short, but he's stout, and he's determined.
Oscar Jaramillo coming off the field for the Redskins. I don't know if he's hobbling or what, but he has been, gosh, it's been 2 years or 3 years on that knee.
Right.
He's been battling that knee injury for the Redskins. 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the 30, their own 30. Wade under center, 3 backs behind him in a power eye, almost a wishbone set, as now he fires as he's going to look for number 7, and that is T. Platt, as he's going to go and he's going to take it to the 29-yard line. And they have him listed as T. Platt. Do we have a name?
I want to. Well, I don't want to guess, but I thought it maybe Tyler Platt, but I don't.
That's what I thought too.
I'm going to check the computer and see.
We asked our expert on site here, and he didn't know, but we think it might be Tyler. We're going to look it up here as Wade waits for the ball, as he sends Nielsen out in motion, as that's going to be a quick handoff.
I love the adjustment the offensively that St. John's made. They've come out, they threw a total of 3 times in the first half, and they've already thrown.
Well, they had that 3-back set with the quarterback, so they had 1 receiver, and they went to him.
Right.
That is a great adjustment.
I love it.
As St. John's milking the clock, I do like to see a methodical offense. It's not the most exciting thing to watch as Nielsen comes under center. Wait with an I-back set, as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a false start on St. John's. As I believe that is behind him, Wait, and is that Winters and Nielsen behind him in that I-back set?
Yeah, we got Winters playing the fullback, and you've got Nielsen playing the tailback.
And those have been interchangeable. We've seen them in both positions today. As we're going to get the same set. So Winters is what I would call the sniffer back, and Nielsen waiting in the tailback set. And the give is to, I believe that is to Winters, Winters is going to get hit for either no gain or a slight loss on the play, and that's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Redskins. You've got to think that the Redskins are in 4-down territory, though.
Oh, definitely. And, something that I'd like to see St. John's, I mean, they historically ran the option for years and years and years, and it would be nice to see Wait keep it and get out. They've hammered in the middle, so it would be really interesting if they would, fake that or ride it and then keep it and pitch. So I'm interested to see if they'll do that, because it's open.
Wait with the handoff. No, Wait keeps it, and he tries to go around as the fake. Good blocking up front, and he's going to be met, and that is going to be little gain for the Redskins, as he had 1 player to beat to possibly get that first down mark, but that player met him, and I believe that was number 31.
It's 81.
81.
I don't know how to pronounce that name.
It's Aiden Giannopoulos.
So great play of
Great play by Aiden Giannopoulos on that.
Maintaining leverage.
4th and 10 comes for the Redskins, as they're no strangers to long yardage. They're going to have to figure out something, and we have had it confirmed. It is Tyler Platt, number 7 for the Redskins. We apologize to him, but we're only able to be blessed with what we were given, and so now we know Tyler Platt, number 7 for the Redskins, as Wait's out of gun, as Wait drops back.
Nice screen. Oh.
And that's going to be thrown to number 2. It's going to be overthrown, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Redskins, as the Redskins coaching staff wanted a flag there.
From the 30-yard line.
As now Scottsdale Christian's going to take over with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left, well short of that 6-minute mark we talked about, Mike, that St. John's needed at halftime to continue.
I would still consider that a successful drive. They opened it up, passing, gave Scottsdale Christian a little bit more to think about. They drove it down the field. Now they have Scottsdale's going to have to go 70 yards to score. So I think it still was a successful drive. Wasn't a 3. That momentum, when you go 3 and out, it's a killer.
I do like working the play clock. They're not playing with urgency. but they're not playing like they're trying to kill the clock. I like them kind of doing their thing as Helgeson takes a snap, fumbles it a little bit. Now he runs up the middle as he's going to be tackled. And I believe that is number
3.
That's Jude Raven on the stop for the Redskins. Yes, it is.
You know, and he did a great job of he was basically one-on-one. He broke down, wrapped, so that was an excellent adjustment on Jude Raven, and he's the one that caused the fumble down here at the end of the second half. So
well, now Helgeson, he hasn't done that very much, so that must have been an adjustment they made because he got some solid yardage off that. I thought a couple times he should just tuck it and run, and he has not done it. He hasn't chosen to, but he does there, and he goes.
You know, he's 6'4", 210, so.
That's what they have him listed as. Helgeson with the snap, he drops back, 3-step drop. He fires over the middle. That is caught by number 2, Stefan, as Stefan is taken down for a first down. Stefan is near midfield at the 40, we're going to call it the 46-yard line of their own 47-yard line of the Scottsdale Christian Eagles. I thought he got it across midfield, but I'm being deceived by my own eyes here.
Sam Winters on the tackle.
15-13, and that is a name we've called a lot tonight. As ball is in the middle of the field, Helgeson with the receiver to the far side, two receivers to the far side, receiver to the near side, hands to Salazar. There goes Salazar. Salazar breaks out to the outside. Salazar is met hard by Winters and brought down. However, he is going to get a gain of 6 on the play, and that is going to bring up 2nd down and 3. And the defense the Redskins are in, Mike, the down linemen are doing a job of holding that line in place, and they're letting those linebackers come up and get it. So I'm actually watching these 3 down, and they've been doing a great job of probably the job that they've been given during this game.
Right, and and St. John's has made adjustments and came up and wrapping a lot better than the first half.
We're going to call it 2nd and 5, actually. Helgeson waiting for the ball. Helgeson, one receiver, and we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a snap, and I think they're actually going to whistle that, and they're going to call it on the St. John's Redskins lining up across the ball.
So Aaron, you ref a lot. And I
try.
Yeah, it looked like I don't even know if he must have, but can they get in the neutral zone and then back out? What is the rule on that?
No, he would have had time, but if he was over it at the snap, there's nothing you can do. But he backing off would have been obviously a better option. But
and while we're talking about the rest, I think they've called an excellent.
They've called a great game. Yeah. They've called a great game. The officials that get these championship games are do very well. They're some of the best of the best. You think, they're doing a 2A championship. Doesn't matter. These gentlemen have put in the time, and they've been noticed and have done a great job all year. As Helgeson gets the ball, he gives it to Salazar. Salazar cutting yards up the middle, and Salazar's going to take it down to, already in Redskin territory, takes it down to the 39-yard line of the Redskins. And these officials are doing a fantastic job. I hesitate to even make a case for what went on there because we're not down on the field and we didn't see it. And it's just hard to sometimes know exactly what's going on, the momentum, the flow of the game. So I'm not actually sure what happened there, but anyway, as Helgeson waits for the ball, Salazar behind him. As now Helgeson out throws it, he's going to hit his receiver, Stefan, number 2. As Stefan's going to get another, that's going to be right at the 6. I think they're going to give him that first down. They're going to move the chains. As 4 minutes and 41 seconds left here in the third quarter, as Scottsdale Christian behind 2, but for all intents and purposes, threatening to score.
1st and 10, Eagles from the 32.
Helgeson back in the gun. Salazar to his left. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Ball is on the far hash. Helgeson waits for the ball. He calls for it. Salazar steps into block. Helgeson with 3-step drop. He steps back. It is fired. It is delivered. It is caught. It is down to the 19-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 20. And that's going to be Stefan with the reception. And in on the stop for the Redskins. I didn't see who was playing on that side. Is that Rabin again?
Looks like Tyler Platt.
That's Platt. So that's number 7, Platt, over there.
1st and 10, Eagles.
The sun's starting to set and causing a little bit of a problem in our neck of the woods.
At least for us.
Ball is on the 20, 1st and 10. On the St. John's side of the field, ball is on the far hash, trips to the left. Salazar to the left as well. Helgeson rolls left and he's going to be met, and he's going to be taken to the ground. And there was almost, as Helgeson is very slow to get up, as he was pressured heavily by Rabin, as St. John's decided to send some pressure back off the edge, and sure as it be, they were able to get a little bit of pressure on Helgeson and take him to the ground in a clean play, might you add. And I don't think Helgeson's been hit like that all game.
No, and that was that's a great play for St. John's to mix it up, bring some pressure, and Jude Rabin almost got there. He definitely felt it, so he'll be thinking about him.
We're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a time on the field, and I think it might be.
You got a horn?
It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line as we wait to hear from the officials. It looks like we might have an equipment issue, as I think we have a blood timeout.
We got Winters coming out.
And if he's going to have to come out and get it taken care of.
Which is a big loss.
It is a big loss, as they're not tending to him, but now the trainer gets him.
Guys, I just tape it up. It looks like you can just tape it up.
That sends in Brigham Patterson. And Patterson, the sophomore, and I believe Patterson is the backup quarterback. And I think he might be given the keys to the offense next year. 2nd and 10 on the Redskin 20, as Helgeson has a shift to his side, Salazar to his right, ball is on the far hash. Helgeson gets the snap. He drops back 2-3. Now he takes it on his own. Helgeson back to the 20, where he is tackled by Pena, as Helgeson gets to the 19-yard line. That is going to be 3rd and 9 now, as that's the second time on this drive as Helgeson's been hit. And he's slow to get up, and he is showing a little bit of limping in the legs, but from what we've seen, he's going to be too tough to have that affect him much.
Well, and I have to credit, we talked about a key who you had to say step up, and that actually was a covered sack because he had plenty of time to throw. So St. John's did a good job of bringing pressure on the previous play and then playing coverage on the second play.
Well, the play of Rabin, Winters, and
Nielsen
is the other one. Has been amazing. Here's Helgeson. He's got Salazar. Now he flips it inside to Salazar. Salazar with a counter, and Salazar gets the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line. That is going to bring up a 4th and 3. And we had our Deemer's glass shattering hit in the first half for now, but I think it could be resting on this right here, as Helgeson with Salazar to his left. Ball is in the middle of the field, as St. John's is going to drop, and they're going to cost themselves 5, and we're going to get a first down. And Mike, that's too bad right there, because that's going to move the ball 5 yards. That's going to give the Eagles a first down. That's going to put the ball at the 9-yard line. We're going to have 1st and goal on the 9, and St. John's with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, we talked about keys and turnovers and penalties, and just your first responsibility is don't beat yourself. And so,
well, that's the first time I've actually seen St. John's, because they do have 3 turnovers on the day.
Right.
Helgeson with Salazar behind him. Helgeson, 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers left, now shifting to 3 on the right side. Ball is on in the middle of the field. There's the snap, there's the throw over the top, and it is thrown barely over Dom Dickerson, as Dom Dickerson defended by, I believe that is Tyler Platt of the Redskins.
It looks like it's Waite.
That is Waite. That is number 10. That is Caden Waite.
Well, that sun is right in our
that is right there. That is Waite. Thank you, Mike, for that.
So that was tight coverage. He had to make a perfect throw.
Helgeson at quarterback. Behind him is Salazar. A shift, 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. There's the give to Salazar. Salazar down to the 5, to the 4, to the 3. Touchdown. Scottsdale Christian. Scottsdale Christian with their first lead of the game, 19-13, as they go into the end zone with 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the third. St. John's going to get a chance to get the ball back here, as Scottsdale Christian is lining up for the PAT, and the mystery player number 7 is going to kick. They have 2 kickers on the roster, but we're unsure either one of them, as St. John's down. Scottsdale Christian and snap. There's the snap, there's the hold, there's the kick. The kick is up. It is directly through the uprights, and we have a score of 20-15. We're going to go ahead and take a break, folks. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Hey everyone, it's the Name Your Price sales event at Horn Auto Center for the rest of the year.
Even on these trucks?
Yeah.
Even on brand new SUVs?
Yeah.
What about all these used cars?
You got that right.
Even on all these heavy-duty trucks?
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh!
It's the Name Your Price sales event, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So come in and make us an offer we can't refuse. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back, Show LaForge's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as the Scottsdale Christian Eagles go up on the St. John's Redskins by a score of 20-15 with 1 minute and 24 seconds left here in the third. And everything that we said that St. John's needed to do, Mike, they came up just a bit short on that drive. But some very positive things, and one of them was moving the ball like they did. As here's the kick, and it's a pooch kick. That's going to go down to about the 22-yard line, and Nielsen. I can't even see who fielded that because we're right in the sun, and that's Nielsen. Nielsen's going to bring the ball back, and it's going to be down to about the 33-yard line as St. John's is going to start their drive. Pretty good field position in their own territory.
On the return.
As they are going to spot it at the 33.
Let's see what they got. You know, St. John's is kids that will play to the last whistle, and still a lot of ball game to go. We'll see what they do on this drive.
They've been successful up the middle, but it's also been a little bit of a curse when they've run that ball up the middle. But I like what they've done as Waite goes under center. 2 receivers now. Heap motions across the field. Now 2 receivers to his left as the ball is kept, and now it is pitched. As that's Winters with the ball, and Winters gets a nice about 9-yard gain as it looked like there was nowhere to go. Is that Nielsen? I cannot get these two. Mike, you're just going to have to, I'll just call the play, and you tell me who gets it, because I'm sorry to both of them, but the fact that we don't know who it is a good thing, because maybe Scottsdale Christian doesn't know who they're keying on.
They're interchangeable. They're like clones. But that was great. That was the first time they've kept it, and you know, that was a gain of 9. So let's see if they made some great adjustments.
Ball on the near hash as we're going to get some motion. Sorry about that, Mike. I was going to say ball on the near hash, but we have some encroachment on the defense as we're going to get 5 yards positive, and that's going to give Round Valley a first down. That's going to be 1st and 10 with 39 seconds left here in this quarter. I think we're going to go to the fourth quarter with this score as St. John's. I think St. John's is going to need a big play of some sort. Who's going to step up and make that big play? As Waite goes under center, I-back set behind him.
That's Nielsen.
And Nielsen with the ball, and Nielsen tumbles over for about. They're going to give Nielsen a very, very hard 1-yard gain on that play as the line doing everything they can to open that hole, but those linebackers just came in and absolutely filled that hole hard. So now we have 2nd and 9 as I think St. John's is going to be content to take this to the quarter. So as we let this tick down, we're going to go ahead and take it to the quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC, Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7. As we have had another hiccup in our roster, it is T. Platt. It is not Tyler. And it is T named after his father. And so we apologize to him for getting that. We never know what we're getting with these rosters. You know, during basketball season, we can sit right at the table and ask someone, but in football, we're up here at the high point of the bleachers at Mountain Pointe High School, and we're relying on you good folks at home texting us, and we don't mind being wrong. We just want to make sure we get it right. And T. Platt, the kicker and contributor for these Redskins, I believe on both offense and defense,
right, corner.
As we have a second and short. No, we flipped the field, so we have a second and long. Excuse me. Redskins with the ball in their own territory, looking to cross that midfield mark with a fresh 12 minutes left. As we go to the fourth quarter with the Scottsdale Christian Eagles up 20-15, 12 minutes on the clock to determine our 2025/26 2A state champion. Now, Mike, Scottsdale Christian won this game last year. So one has to think that they, with the rules of the AIA, are going to have to move up to the 3A ranks. And I'm not sure how competitive they'll be. It'll depend on how many recruits they get from going to the Christian school. But I mean, well, let's be honest. The kids that show up at their door, they pick who they want. St. John's gets the kids that come in from everywhere, so I don't have a lot of sympathy for them going up to 3A, but going to be interesting to see how they adjust to 3A life and the 3A conferences, because the bottom of 3A is the bottom, but the top is some pretty good football.
Right.
As we appreciate the stats coming in from the Arizona Interscholastic Association, as we are looking at the overall stats, and Helgeson, 238 yards in 3 quarters of football. That is fantastic.
Yeah, and his completion rate is pretty 21
yes.
and 27. That's
St. John's with 140 rushing yards, Scottsdale Christian with 82. The only category that really matters is the score, but these are great to look at. The time of possession overall, 12:05 for the Redskins to 23:55 for Scottsdale Christian.
Well, this fourth quarter is why you do all your off-season training, all your conditions. Let's see.
And coming off the mountain, I got to give a little bit of a nod here to St. John's as the play clock has started from the 25-second spot, as we have Heat and Nielsen swapping spots. As there's a handoff, and I believe that's Nielsen with the handoff, and Nielsen's going to get some hard yards, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and short, as Nielsen's going to be credited for a 5-yard gain there for the St. John's Redskins.
Again, good adjustment by the St. John's coaches. Offensively now, they did some great adjustments on defense, but trying to get it outside, trying to stretch that defense. And
Winters has 92 yards rushing. They have Pena with 23, and they have Nielsen with 19. So Nielsen just added to his total there, but that number by Winters is impressive. I look to see him getting the ball a little bit more, as we have a power set by the Redskins with 3 backs as Waite goes. Now Waite's going to take the ball, and he's going to be led by those 3 blockers, and Waite now turns it up, and Waite gets out, and Waite's going to be knocked out of bounds. And from our vantage point, he's knocked over on the far side. It looks to me like he's going to be short of that first down by not just a little, but a lot.
Yeah, look, so far over there, it looked like he was almost going to get the first down, but I don't know if he gained yards.
He adds to his 6-yard rushing total for a total of 8 on the game now. And Salazar for Scottsdale Christian has 54 yards rushing. As St. John's is going to go for it. They are in enemy territory in Scottsdale Christian. As Waite goes back, Waite's pressured. He now rolls to his left. He dumps it slow and easy as it falls to the turf as it's batted around.
First and 10, Eagles.
Yeah, you got to give Scottsdale Christian.
Number 44, Garrett Guarea tipped that around. He is only a sophomore, and he tipped that around, and the ball hit about 3 different hands before it fell to the turf here at Mountain Pointe High School, as Mountain Pointe is now going to get the ball on their own 47-yard line and in the driver's seat right now with the way one more score to seal the deal. St. John's has to come up with their 4th turnover. They don't have to, but they need to come up with that 4th turnover. But I'll take a turnover on downs right now, too.
Yeah, stop. They're going to need to take some chances. They're going to have to play tighter coverage. They may have to bring some pressure. They can't let the quarterback just sit back there and have all day.
As here's Helgeson with the ball. Helgeson now takes 2 steps back. He's looking long. He fires deep, and it's about 8 yards overthrown. The intended receiver was Dickerson for the Eagles, and they were looking for the quick strike and end the game extremely early right there, as that stops the clock with 10 minutes and 29 seconds. Scottsdale Christian is up 5.
Yeah, Waite, they had great bracket coverage there. You had Waite underneath, and you had Jude Rabin over the top. So
Rabin has played a fantastic game today. As here's Helgeson, Salazar is slightly to his right. 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers to the left. Ball is on the far side, give it to Salazar. Salazar runs off tackle to his right, and he is stopped short. We're going to have 3rd down. We're going to have about, I believe we have a marker down. And that's generally in the area you get a hold on the edge, but I think it's actually going to be a block in the back hold right now, and this is one and the same. Does St. John's give the penalty down and call it 3rd down, or do they take the yards here?
Is this 10 yards?
Yes, it is a 10
I would
yard.
definitely take the penalty.
It's a 10 yards, and I believe it's going to go from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, great job of St. John's bringing pressure. They're not sitting back, just letting Scottsdale Christian pick them apart.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7, KNKI, Pine Top Sholo, and 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopaniki communications station. iTalk 106.7 bringing you this state championship football game live with 10:19 left. The Scottsdale Christian Eagles up on the St. John's Redskins 20-15. Redskins with the penalty against the Eagles electing to take the yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 20 as Helgeson now takes the ball. Takes a 2-step drop, 3-step drop, now fires over the middle, overthrows the receiver. That's going to make it 3rd and 20 for the Eagles. As, Mike, they were very good at methodically taking that ball back and forth. Excuse me, not back and forth.
Side to side.
Backing up, side to side, up. Yeah. And they've elected to go for 2 long balls. Now, 2nd and 20, I get a little bit of that, but that short pass, they would have got potentially 5 or 6, turned it into 8 or 9, and you do that twice, you're right back into 4-down territory. So not sure why they're going for the quote-unquote jugular here, but St. John's is playing some great defense as well. Here's Helgeson with Salazar to his right. Now the fake pitch to Salazar, now the ball's thrown in the middle, and that was a great job by Malachi West. And can you have a lineman batting a pass down as your Deemer's glass shattering hit? Because that might have changed a little bit of the momentum.
Well, and I go back to your comment just now. It's like Scottsdale Christian went completely away from what was making them successful. St. John's was having a hard time stopping those outs, and they basically just got a little greedy, and it cost them.
And when have we seen a screen in the middle?
Right.
We haven't, because so here we go. We got St. John's 2 deep. Scottsdale Christian to punt. Scottsdale Christian booms it. That is number 7. It is caught by T-Platt, and T-Platt is taken down right at the 14-yard line, as St. John's is going to take over on the 14-yard line, as the sun is kind of playing havoc. It is to the south end zone, and it is right in line between our angle of the goalpost and the south end zone, as this is going to be the way St. John's is going to go. As we're going to get a timeout here on the field, we're going to go ahead and take it as well. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as the St. John's Redskins, with 9 minutes and 45 seconds left, down by 5, start a drive deep in their own territory at, I believe, the 14-yard line as Wade hands the ball up the middle, and we're going to get a gain of a couple as we got to get to the bottom of the pile to see who that was. Pena with the rush, and Redskins doing a great job overall with the rushing attack here, as it's been very spread by number of carries through the day. Winters leads with carries, but Pena right there, as well as Nielsen, and Waite called his number a couple times as the QB.
Pena's got some of those tough yards upside, key carries.
Well, they gave him credit for 3 there, Mike, so good for the Redskins. Waite under center. Waite now drives back. Waite gives, and there's a trip and a fall, and Winters is going to fall and lose yards on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down and actually put them back at the 10-yard mark. Not good news for the Redskins, as they're looking to get positive yards at this point.
Yeah, that's
not bring them through.
And they had run that play earlier the last series where he comes in motion, and he was going to cut. He came in motion again. He was going to cut back. They had a tackle block it out, and just.
Well, and he just lost his footing here on the turf and went down. But I thought he gets one step through there and keeps his footing. He gets 3 or 4. Wade under center. I cannot tell in the sun who we got behind him, as there's Waite now moves. Waite has a receiver, and it's going to be intercepted by Scottsdale Christian. And that's Murphy's going to pick it, and Murphy's going to get run out at about the 20-yard line, as Scottsdale Christian's going to take back over with 8 minutes and 15 seconds left. And if there's a time ever for the St. John's defense to show up, it's going to be right now, as you saw the crowd, the cheerleaders, the players on the sideline, and the coaches was a collective sigh when that ball went up and was picked off.
Yeah, they just kind of got out of their element, and of course they're down and they're trying to make something happen. So same thing on defense, they're going to have to make something happen. They're going to have to take some risks.
Well, they have had that turnover battle, so if force a turnover here and give them the ball back would breathe a lot of life into this Redskin football team.
At the very least, hold them to a field goal.
As here's Helgeson. Receiver in motion. Helgeson's going to run it up the middle. He's going to go to his right, and he's going to be met by 3 Redskins. I see number...
Colton Platt, of course. And
Platt.
And Jose Pena.
And Pena.
2 names we've called quite a bit.
And it's Pena's having a great game all around. Even though he may not have the yards on the stats, both offense and defense, he is doing a phenomenal job, as the sun is about getting ready to set here at Mountain Pointe High School as we move into the end of this ball game, as Scottsdale Christian comes up to the line. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left. Up 15 to 20. And there's the handoff to Salazar. Salazar breaks free to his left, to his right, and he is going to cut right into the official, the umpire, and credit the umpire for being in partially on that tackle there, as I think he lost his shoe as Salazar cut right back there.
Again, St. John's had an opportunity to make the tackle. They had someone touch him in the backfield, but just couldn't complete the tackle.
Couldn't complete the tackle for the Redskins. Scottsdale Christian now in a point, Mike, to possibly take the ball and, take some time down with it, as they are up 5. It is a one-score game. Helgeson in shotgun, gives to Salazar. Salazar goes to his left. Now he cuts back over the middle, where he is met by a bunch of St. John's Redskins in the middle.
You're never going to believe this, but it was Colton Platt again.
Well, I actually do believe that, Mike, at this point. He's done a fantastic job. And the crowd's starting to get behind their Redskins a little bit here. 2nd and goal on the 4-yard line for the Redskins.
Yeah, Colton Platt has been all over the field. Jose Pena, Colton Platt.
Here's Helgeson. Salazar is to his left. He has 3 receivers now to his left after motion. Helgeson takes snap, gives Salazar. Salazar cuts left, cuts right. Now he is met in the middle, and he is tackled. Gain of, we're going to call it a gain of 1. No, we're going to call it no gain. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. 6 minutes and 19 seconds left. And boy, 2 more of those would be great for this Redskin crowd on our side of the field.
Great job by Malachi West and Carson Thomas. Both big tackles, big bodies. Close that hole. So
now, if I'm Scottsdale Christian and I've had 2 pretty good plays with Salazar, I'm going to fake it to him and dump it to Dickerson or Murphy on something. But Salazar is not in the backfield. The backfield is number 6, Nathaniel Elrod, the sophomore. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. And we're going to go ahead and take it, too. It's going to be
timeout. Scottsdale Christian.
Scottsdale Christian calls that timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Forge presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, Shola Forge presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as Scottsdale Christian comes out of their timeout with a 3rd and goal on the 4, as Helgeson moves. Now he throws, and that's going to be knocked and incomplete. And that's going to fall short. And we're going to get a flag, and we're going to get a roughing the passer penalty on the Redskins. That's going to be half the distance in the goal. That is going to be an automatic first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for the Eagles.
God, great job. I mean, they did just what you thought. They faked it. You know, St. John's played great except for that roughing. And I didn't see the roughing, so.
I didn't actually catch the end of it well, but
to me it looked like, well, I don't want to, because I don't know. I didn't see it enough.
I didn't see it enough either. I did see that Helgeson was on the ground. And there's the give to Salazar. Salazar's up the middle. Salazar is...
Jeez. Great job.
As the official on the far side signals touchdown, and then the linesman comes in from this side and confirms it is a touchdown. 26-15. as we get a flag now, and I think it's going to be a sideline warning on St. John's. I don't know if it's going to be a warning or a penalty. I'm not sure what was exchanged there.
You know, I know they scored, but St. John's played a tough goal line stand, and they made them work for that.
There's a lot of frustration going on, and I can see both sides.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, sideline warning on St. John's, their first of the game.
So, as suspected, it is a sideline warning, and we're going to get that. So, no yards, no penalty. Essentially, the next one becomes a penalty. So, as of now, it's 26-15 with Scottsdale Christian and the mystery number 7 to chance at a PAT to make it a 12-point ball game. Helgeson to hold. There's the snap. There's the kick. It's up. It's good. We're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Cash back to you. Woohoo!
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as Scottsdale Christian gets set to tee it up and kick it to the St. John's Redskins, up 12 at this point, a 2-score game. And St. John's needs a big play that they've had. They have yet to score in the last 3 quarters. Counting this one, they have yet to score. The last time St. John scored was with 2:35 left in the first, and that was Winters with that long run. They've run the ball, but they've not been able to finish drives, Mike.
Right. They came out that first drive of the second half and drove it down and just kind of stalled out. But
here's the kick, received on about the 10 for the Redskins. As well, it's either Winters or Nielsen. I can never tell which one it is.
I believe that was Winters.
But I believe it was Winters brings the ball, and that's going to give St. John's the ball on the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left. They do have all 3 timeouts. And, Mike, they're not a quick strike offense, but they've got to find a quick strike opportunity here. And I'm not sure where that's going to come from.
Well, hopefully it can, Winters can break something up the middle, but this is definitely not their go-to.
As there's a handoff in the middle, and it's Winters giving the ball, and Waite gives it to Winters, and Winters fights his way for about a 7-yard gain.
Great effort on Winters.
They're going to mark him as a 9-yard gain, Mike.
That was most Winters' effort on that. And credit Scottsdale Christian for the game tackle.
Well, we got a false start on the Redskins as the tackle on the left side, Platt, got a little bit too jumpy, and that's going to give him back 5. That's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now, and luckily does not totally negate the run there by Winters. As we see a lot more black and gold filtering in, and I got to tell you, folks, as I've watched some of this black and gold filter, and they are every bit as excited for these Redskins as their own crowd. Great to see the support from these communities to one another. As there's a handoff, and I believe that's the T. Platt. Or is that Rabin?
That's Rabin.
That is Rabin, the ball carrier. As Rabin takes the ball down to the 41-yard line. Oh, they're going to mark him back at the 43. I thought he came up a little bit before. They marked him down as St. John's goes into somewhat of a hurry up here. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Winters is the lone back behind Waite under center. Nielsen in motion. Fake to Nielsen. Now here goes Waite. Waite rolls to his left, and he looks long.
Open.
He has a receiver wide open. Rabin.
Oh.
It is in and out of the fingertips of Rabin. Oh, my goodness. It could not have been placed much better than that. can't really fault the quarterback, can't really fault Rabin. Wait to Rabin. It tipped off his fingertips about 3 yards in the end zone and rolled to the back, and you just saw the disappointment. However, St. John's did get something going there, as they don't need to hurry up. There are only 20 seconds left on the play clock. I-back formation with Waite, followed by Nielsen, as well as there's the ball over the middle, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a pass interference. That's going to be a 15-yard. I thought that he came over the top and got there just a hair early, Mike, so I'm definitely not going to argue with that call. I felt like it was a pretty good one.
Well, I think you threw it out there in the universe and it manifested.
Well, we're going to get a 15-yard penalty, and that is going to be a first down, not an automatic first in high school ball, as we know. And they're going to spot that. It's going to be basically in the middle of the field, and it's going to go to the 19-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot it on the far hash, which I guess is where the previous play was run, so good spot by the officials. We now have trips to the left side. Heap is out there along with Rabin. Nielsen is your quarterback. Nielsen in the gun. Wade in the gun. And he is, I believe that is Winters behind him. As Wade drops straw back, now he goes to his left. He's scrambling. Now there's a throw. It's caught. It's caught. Winters. It's caught by Winters. Winters in for the touchdown. Wow. Redskins put the ball in the end zone. Winters with an amazing, breaks 2 tackles from 12 yards out and scatters in for a Redskins touchdown. As there is life in the Redskin team, as we have the T comes out, as I believe Waite's going to hold for T-Platt. And St. John's now down 27-21 with 3 timeouts, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left. Plenty to make it happen, and that was the big play. We thought it was going to be Rabin, and it tips off Rabin's fingertips barely. However, Winters comes through as here's the snap, here's the kick. We're going to get a whistle, and that was a kick. I mean, T-Platt put that back on the running part of the track back there. As we get a whistle, and we're going to have a penalty. I believe it was before the snap, so I'm guessing it's going to be a false start against the Redskins.
Well, obviously his mic's not working this half.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. We're waiting, folks, for a sign from the officials.
Oh, there it goes.
The defense. Be half the distance to the goal. Repeat the kick.
What was the
Okay, I didn't catch what they didn't give a signal. He just went over the mic. The kick was good, but they're moving at half the distance, so they're coming over to give, I believe that is Coach Udall for the Redskins getting an explanation, and Coach Dimbat coaches from the box, so I believe Coach Udall is his sideline confidant, and so he's asking for an explanation.
And plus,
here
Coach Udall's been a ref.
Against the defense, that penalty's declined. Repeat the try.
So St. John's is going to repeat the try. So as soon as they set this ball, they're going to, and I think this is actually kind of smart. Maybe their kicker, a yard and a half. Okay, we're going to get a whistle, and they're going to confer again. And folks, I know you're like, get it going, but I'd rather have them get the call right than rush the call.
What was the call?
I'm not sure because he didn't. He said it over the mic, so I'm not exactly sure what it was. As we get St. John's and Platt kicked that thing very, very, very well. So look for him to put it up again. But some needed points here, whatever it might be for the Redskins. As there's the snap, hold, kick, and that is up and good and. That is good. So we're going to go, folks, and take a timeout here. The Show Forge presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
It's the Redskins 22, the Eagles 27.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down.
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com as the St. John's Redskins get set to tee it up as they have just scored 7 on the board, a touchdown followed by the PAT through the uprights. They are down 27-22 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left, have all 3 of their timeouts, teeing it up ready for the kickoff. We didn't really have any clarity on the exchange on the PAT, but nonetheless, it's 1 point for the Redskins, and they are set to kick off. As I believe, is that Landon Willis, the junior, getting ready to kick off for the Redskins?
It is.
As number 20, Watkins, and number 2, Stefan, wait for the ball. And here's the kick, and it's low, deep, and it's going to go into the end zone. We're going to have a touchback, so Scottsdale Christian will get the ball on the 20-yard line as the Redskins with a chance, folks, with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to come up and get something going. They need a stop and a score, obviously. And they've played well enough. They had an unfortunate roughing the passer penalty down low that allowed Scottsdale Christian to score as Salazar dives in as 4 minutes and 11 seconds left. And I got to think momentum, St. John's can keep this momentum. They definitely have themselves a chance. Scottsdale Christian with 2 timeouts, up 5. Helgeson, 2 receivers to his right, 2 receivers to his left. Ball is in the middle of the field. Salazar to his left, slightly behind. Helgeson, there's the ball, give to Salazar. Salazar's up the middle. He's hit hard, and that is going to be Colton Platt. And it's interesting, you get a solo tackle right in the middle of the field, but Colton Platt steps up and wrestles Salazar to the ground. So Scottsdale Christian a little bit content with, I think, keeping the ground game. They do have 3 turnovers on the day, however, are up 5. So the category that matters is that score up there, but it is not final. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. As here's Helgeson, 2nd and 7. There's the give to Salazar. Salazar now goes to his right. Salazar is met at the line. He is met by Nielsen. However, Thomas, and I'm trying to see who else get up. I think that's Pena. Jose Pena are credited, and we're going to get a timeout by St. John's. We're going to go ahead and take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Hey everyone, it's the Name Your Price sales event at Horn Auto Center for the rest of the year.
Even on these trucks?
Yeah.
Even on brand new SUVs?
Yeah.
What about all these used cars?
You got that right.
Even on all these heavy-duty trucks?
Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
It's the Name Your Price sales event, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So come in and make us an offer we can't refuse. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com. And I hope you're listening live on iTalk1067, driving through the beautiful White Mountains late November, listening to some high school football at Scottsdale Christian up 5 on the St. John's Redskins as Helgeson now has 3 receivers to his left as well as Salazar. Helgeson rolls to his left, looking. He fires across the middle, and that's going to be an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And we have life in this crowd and on the sidelines as the Redskin and Elk faithful raise their cheers toward it. And Mike, I absolutely love this crowd and the dynamic of watching both these towns who are rivals in every sense of the way, but are here and there and everywhere, and just helping each other out and giving these kids some backing that they need. As St. John's is going to send 2 back. That's Winters and that's Platt, I believe.
T. Platt.
And we'll see if Scottsdale Christian kicks. There's the punt by number 7. The punt is up. That's going to be a booming punt. Platt's going to get it on. Platt fumbles it a little bit. Ball is fielded now on the 25 as Platt now goes to his right. He takes a deep scoop back as now Platt reverses course. And now Platt comes back to his left. Platt goes, he's to the 30, to the 35. He is down at the 40. Absolutely made something out of nothing, as the first thing I looked at is, are they going to get a block in the back? Are they going to block in the back? And the Redskins special teams stayed off the backs and the blocking and were able to get Platt. Platt was one person away from possibly taking that another 15, 20 yards. Redskins get the ball on the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, 2 minutes and 58 seconds with one timeout as Waite comes under center. Waite with trips to his left. As Waite comes under, there's the snap, there's a throw. The throw is to Rabin. Rabin comes and Rabin goes, and Rabin gets about a 6-yard gain as Rabin's knocked out of bounds, stop at the clock.
Nice job. And I want to just go back to that prior play. There were several plays or opportunities for St. John's to block them in black, and you can tell they've been well coached. They stopped, they held off, they shielded the guy. Great discipline on St. John's.
It was great discipline, because there would have been nothing worse there than bringing that back another 10 to 15 on whatever play. And now St. John's has the ball at the 46-yard line, 2nd and 6. We're going to call it. And looking to come down as the clock is stopped at 2:53, 27-22. Waite goes under center. Winters behind him, and there's the handoff to Rabin. Rabin cuts it up. Rabin to the 50. And Rabin is over the 50 to the 48-yard line, and that is going to be near a first down. And I believe they are moving the chains. They're going to give Rabin the first down on that play as the clock is temporarily stopped. And we just got the wind up, 2 minutes and 42 seconds left as St. John's. We don't have a 2-minute warning in high school, folks, so it doesn't stop. They do have 2 timeouts. The seconds are precious, 34, 33, 2:32 left. Waite now in shotgun. Trips to his left. As Waite looks, now he throws.
Great job.
Waite under pressure launches the ball out of bounds. And like I say, Mike, great job on getting it over. He gets it past the original line, as that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left, 22-27.
Great play by Waite, because, this pressure situation, and he was smart enough to get rid of it, not trying to make too much out of something that wasn't there. Great job.
Mike, and two, this kind of came down to what we wanted. You don't ever want to see a blowout. And you wanted to see St. John's have a chance. And this is the chance they've been given. What they make of it here, they've given a great effort today. If they can convert this, it's going to be great. And here's Waite under center. Waite with the give. And that's, I believe, I'm not even going to say if it's Winters or Nielsen.
Well, I'll let you know here in a second.
As we're going to get a timeout at 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, 27-22. And that was Winters bringing it up the middle. And, Mike, that's a 5-yard, we're going to call it a 4-yard gain by Winters. The St. John's is going to take a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout, folks. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back, Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com. We'd like to run down our sponsors for this evening that make these games possible. Shola Ford on the east end of the deuce. Ace Hardware in Pine Top Overgarden, Sholo, the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store, Northland Pioneer College. Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center. Comfort Fit Dentures, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Allegra Printing of Sholo. They make these games possible. We appreciate them. Patron them this holiday season. They will love it. We will love it. Waite goes back under center. Waite with 3 receivers to his left, spread out wide. Ball is on the far hash. Waite now with a pitch to Winters. Winters heading for the sidelines. Winters gets a chance to try to cut up. Winters gets out of bounds. That's going to bring up 3rd and a long 4 for the Redskins. As we are definitely in 4-down territory, Winters does get out of bounds and stops the clock. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left, up, down 27-22. Now, Mike, I don't want to, but St. John's obviously has the big play capability. They are down 5. A score can effectively put them up? Do you go for 2?
That's it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
14 seconds on the play clock as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to time out.
Time is a factor, but this is probably good. This is essentially the game. So
well, the clock was stopped, but it's 4th down and 5, so you have to convert this. Right. So I understand the football mojo doesn't want you to call this, but your coaching staff knows your team better and draw this up and what they're going to do. So
I'd love to see a little halfback pass right, pitch it to Winters.
Well, I've seen Waite, and Waite has actually been a little bit stronger rolling to his left. If you put the ball is on the short hash, if you put Waite, now it depends on what kind of pressure they're going to bring, but they've shown some success with that medium range passing game. If Waite rolls out to his right, he could potentially have 2 receivers. So look, I don't practice with them every day. I don't know what they do, but I got to think there's something deep down in the St. John's playbook that's going to allow them to get this. St. John's is out of timeouts. Scottsdale Christian does have 2. And folks, this is the ball game right here. St. John's 4th and 5. As Waite drops back, as Waite fires it over, that's going to be caught as we're going to have it, and that's going to be caught by Bridgen Heat with the reception, as we're going to call it over, and they are going to call him out at the 30, and he steps out of bounds. No.
Oh.
They called him out, but they do give him a first down. So, folks, we thought he was out at the 30, and we are looking right down the 30-yard line, but we don't have the advantage of the sidelines. They have marked him right at the 39-yard line. However, that was just enough, about a yard more than a first down. St. John's with 1:57 seconds left. Ball is on the near hash. St. John's trips to the short side near. And here comes Waite. Waite looking. Now he scrambles. Now he throws it down the field as we're going to get a little bump, but I think not enough bump to call a pass interference, as T. Platt was the intended receiver in. And that bump was all incidental right there. I didn't see anything that would be towards the penalty. So St. John's did allow him to roll right, except he had one-on-one coverage. They do run trips to the short side, which is not something we normally see. However, that's what their play calling works. So we'll see what happens here. 2nd down and 10, 1 minute 49 seconds left, 10 seconds on the play clock. Waite comes under center. 5 seconds on the play clock for it. Now there's a fake handoff. As Waite looks, now Waite fires. It is caught by Winters. Winters to the 10.
Oh, great job.
Winters to the 8-yard line as the clock is going to stop momentarily. 27-22.
Love it. Great job.
As the ball is down, the clock is now it is a hot clock. Minute 40. If you're Scottsdale Christian, do you start thinking about conserving? But they do have to score.
That's a great question.
Because it still rests on St. John's. St. John's is now 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. 16 seconds on the play clock. The game clock is at 1:25. Here goes Waite. Waite with Winters behind him. Trips to his right. As we're going to get a timeout, Scottsdale Christian's going to call it.
Great point.
Scottsdale Christian, 8 seconds left. As now the crowd erupts. As the black and gold and the red and white are on their feet here at Mountain Pointe High School, giving everything they have to back this Redskin team. Don't go anywhere, folks, because tonight, after this, we have the nightcap. The Round Valley Elks take on the Ben Franklin Chargers for the 3A championship. As we're winding down the game here, we got to think ahead a little bit to that Round Valley game, but this game's so good right now. We'll get a chance to talk about that later as we go into the nightcap. But Mike, is it the pass game? Is it the run game? Because Winters right now could probably put the team on his back and run it in the end zone. The clock obviously doesn't start till the snap. So if you're St. John's and you're the coaching staff, particularly your Coach Udall running the offense, I would think you've got to get Winters involved some here, except they are sending Winters out. So it's going to be, is that number 4? Is that Nielsen?
Yes.
So Nielsen's going to be the same. We've kind of described them as interchangeable. As we have trips, the ball is on the near hash, trips to the far side, to the wide side. We have Nielsen in the backfield. Waite gets the snap. Waite with a quick snap to, I believe that is Platt. Platt goes, Platt's down to the 2. St. John's has got to get on the ball. Minute 14 seconds left, down 27-22.
They still have a timeout, but they're saving
They
that.
do not have a timeout. They have 0 on the clock for them. Scottsdale Christian has 1. So St. John's comes in. We're going to have 2nd and goal from the 2 as they're substituting. We're under a minute now to play as Waite goes. Waite with 3 running backs behind him, and we're going to get a flag, and I don't know, so that's going to stop the clock momentarily. 46 seconds.
Do they have 12?
Do St. John's have 12?
They just sent some. I don't know if they do, but.
Well, if it's snapped with 12.
I don't think they do, so we just had one player.
Well, let's see what he calls, because last time we didn't get enough clarification. Let's see what we got.
Oh.
That's a 5-yard penalty. And that's an interesting one because the way it is in high school, and again, people have to understand there's Friday rules, there's Saturday rules, and there's Sunday rules. NFHS, NCAA, and NFL. And the clock is wound, so we have a 2nd down and goal from the 7. One of the things you have to understand is if it's just kind of going in and hitting the pile, but if you hit the actual runner, it's a penalty. So here's St. John's, trips to the left. Ball is on the far hash. Here comes Waite. Waite throws it to Winters. It's not, and that goes to the ground as the clock stops with 25 seconds left. We're going to have 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. And if you're St. John's, I think you got to keep it in the air.
Right.
Winters was pretty covered there, but it did hit his hands and bounced off just a little bit.
Well, and you bring up a great point about this, just because they watch the push-tush all year long, and so
and it's hard because, like I say, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they're different. Right. As trips to the short side, passes the Platt. Platt goes in. Platt's going to go, and Platt's going to be whistled out of bounds. So now we have the season right here. But the clock did not start. We had 25 when it started, and nothing ran off. That's interesting.
So, wow.
So it is 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. This is the season for these Redskins and these Eagles. This is backyard in the dirt, 4th and goal, game on the line. This is it right here, Mike.
This is it. You couldn't ask for any more.
This is it right here. I think that's about right because it was started. Okay, so we have 21 seconds on the clock. 27-22. Scottsdale Christian up on St. John's. It is 4th and goal from the 4-yard line.
Wow. What a
as
great
Waite comes up. Ball is on the far hash. I-back set behind Waite. Waite's under center. There's the snap. There's the fake. Waite rolls to his left. Waite rolls. As Waite looks, Waite goes. Waite's wrapped up, and Waite's thrown down at the 10-yard line. Scottsdale Christian will be your 2025 state champs.
Well, great game. You got to give it to the St. John's Redskins for the battle when the momentum was totally in Scottsdale Christian's Eagles' favor, and they battled back. And like you said earlier, what a successful season. And you hate to end like this.
You hate to end like that, but 12-2, coming off the mountain, representing well, and my heart aches for these Redskins right now. The community, everything. It's not just, Scottsdale Christian, they'll go to school on Monday and they'll celebrate great, but these kids from St. John's, they'll celebrate a little bit on Monday too, but they're in one community. I don't know how close these Scottsdale Christian players live to one another, but St. John's has nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
They put themselves in a position to win. They supported their community, their town, their coaching staff, and most of all themselves. And great job to them. Great job to Coach Dimbat and his staff for putting them in this position, and the players for getting there. As we have victory formation, Helgeson with the snap, and it goes down, and the game is going to end as the Scottsdale Christian Eagles win their 3rd straight championship at the 2A level. As folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to have the post-game show, and we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to continue at 7 o'clock and have the nightcap. So in a little over an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to have the nightcap, and the Round Valley Elks will take on the Ben Franklin Chargers. Great job by St. John's. Great job to them. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second break, and we'll come back and going to give you the post-game show. This is
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You know, people do.
What was the other one? Welcome back. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com. Sorry about that, folks. We're getting our post-game statistics ready to go as we go to this final Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show as we get ready to give credit where credit's due to these St. John's Redskins on an incredible season. And within our post-game show, we have our Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game. And Mike, you and I kind of went back and forth on this, but we kind of both agreed was number 77, Malachi West, with that knockdown. And we're going to give it to a lineman today, that big glass-shattering knockdown, as part of our glass-shattering hit of the game. So Malachi West, Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game. For Deemer's Glass, for all your glass needs, 1-888-GLASSMAN. And next we go to our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Mike, take us through that one.
Well, there were several good drives, but you've got that last drive. St. John's was down to the last drive, either win or go home, and they just sucked it up, made several key plays, a couple on 4th down to keep the drive going, had a couple tough penalties go against their way. And I'd have to give it the last drive. St. John's showed a lot of character, driving it at the length of the field, came up a bit short.
And you're talking, yards, but they're going to take home some hardware, and more importantly, they are going to represent their community well. And the last thing we got is our player of the game. And Mike, we can go back and forth on this one because there have been so many, and You want to give it to the victors, but we support our local as well. I will like to put out there a couple options for our player of the game. Sean Helgeson, 238 yards passing. I mean, total yards, 339. But I also want to look at Winters with 106 yards rushing. Pena, Nielsen with 104 yards passing. The whole defensive line, how many times do we call Pena's name on defense? So, Mike, give me your thoughts on a player of the game.
Well, and you mentioned a lot of them, but I want to throw out Colton Platt.
Colton Platt was right there,
Colton
too.
Platt was there. You got Waite, made that pick 6, then on offense made some key plays. It was just a well-rounded game by St. John's. There are several players that stepped up.
Well, and Waite plays both ways.
Both plays, yeah. They both play ways, and they're just.
And without Waite, they're not in that position.
Right. So
congratulations to Caden Waite as our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game, and congratulations to him, his team, and St. John's Redskins. Scottsdale Christian taking home the gold ball, but St. John's with that runner-up trophy, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. They gave it their all. I joke and I laugh about it, but St. John's, the students that show up at their doorstep go to St. John's. Scottsdale Christian, there's a fee to be paid, and there's a lot of other choices in the Valley as far as school goes. So it's a different dynamic of who's playing whom. Yes, I understand we're all 2A and you got to play, but it's a little bit different where we are at as opposed to down here. So they go home with the state championship, and all I can say is congratulations to the St. John's Redskins for the season they had, the coaching staff, the players, Mr. Bradshaw, the athletic director. Amazing by them. And congratulations to the Redskins. Mike, your final thoughts.
Well, one thing that I wanted to kind of comment on both teams is I saw great sportsmanship throughout the game, from the first play to the last play. Players from opposite teams helping each other up. I never saw any kind of scuffle, or there was never a personal foul. And so I want to give credit to both teams for their character, the way they played, their sportsmanship. And again, going back to the community, the fans. Coach is great for Lon Dimbat. Played. I remember watching him play, and he was a heck of a player, and it was awesome for him to, he lived in the Valley for several years and made the decision to come back home and kind of turn around the St. John's Redskins. So kudos to them. I love their kids. I've worked with a lot of their kids that took college classes, and they're just great, high-character kids, high-character community, and they should be proud of themselves, and they don't have anything to hang their head about.
And I agree with you, and we had talked about this through the game. We thought the officiating was on par. They controlled the game. Everything about it, and winners and losers are going to have a different perspective. We have a little bit of a neutral mentality, but both teams, sportsmanship, great thoughts, Mike. So that's going to conclude our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. For all your hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing needs, visit the Honda Ski and Outdoor store south of Honda Casino on Highway 260. For Aaron Hewish, Mike Caldwell, Mel West, let's see, Corbin Palmer on the cameras. We can't say good night, but we'll see you in a little bit for our nightcap. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and italk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to italk1067.com.